Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 84 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. This week we've got a double bill, thanks to bloody Sci-Fi Quest and his super chats. We're doing House on Haunted Hill from 1999 and its 2007 sequel, Return to House on Haunted Hill. Right, so anyway, Joshua Kanapki's here. Hello, Vizini, I am waiting for you. Did it come up saying waiting for that Old Yorkshire Geek? I'm only about, 5 seconds late, something like that. And Windgrace says, is the house haunted? Is it the hill? Do you know what? They don't make it clear in the films either. Oh dear. And just Kanapki says, howdy, because he thinks he's Woody from Toy Story. And my hair's all sticking out again. Right, so info. That said, first up we're doing House on Haunted Hill. Oh, before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe. Where is it? Down there. Share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. Join us in the live chat. We should be live on YouTube. Should be, because people are commenting, so I presume we are. We should be live on Rumble. Let me refresh that to see if that comes on. Is it going to come on? Yes, it is. We're live on Rumble. Oh, I'm burping already. And we should be live on Twitch, he says. Come on then. Hello. I'm going to have to refresh it, am I? Is Twitch acting up? Yes, we're live on Twitch. There we go. Thought something were going awry there. Later on, I'll upload it to Spotify and Amazon Music Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Blah, 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 blah. Right, so first up, House on Haunted Hill. There we go. This is the old DVD. Remember these cases? Do they still do them? It used to be Warner Brothers that used to do these DVD cases. But the sequel's just in a regular case. But this one's in one of those cardboard ones. So that's coming up first. So, info about House on Haunted Hill. Obviously, it's based on the 1959 original, starring Vincent Price, written by Rob White, directed by William Castle? I don't know. I'm going to have to check now. I think it was directed by William Castle. House on Haunted Hill, yes, produced and directed by William Castle, yes. Thought I'd just get that right. And this new one, 1999, was produced by Dark Castle Productions, which were a company set up by Joel Silver, Robert Zemeckis, and somebody else who I can't remember, Gilbert Adler. And they were going to start essentially remaking William Castle films, and they only ended up doing 2. They did this one, and they did 13 Ghosts, and then they're still going, they're still making films and distributing films and stuff. But they seem to have not bothering with the William Castle films. I want to see a remake of The Tingler and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem to be happening, does it? So I don't know why. Maybe they fell out with the Castle estate. I don't know. One of the producers on the film is Terry Castle, who was one of William Castle's daughters. He had 2 daughters, Terry and Georgie. I presume they're short for Georgina and Teresa. I don't know. It doesn't say, but anyway. Right, so anyway, where were we? House on Haunted Hill, 1999, remake of the 1959 original. Directed by William Malone, stars Geoffrey Rush, Famke Janssen, Taye Diggs, Ali Larter, Bridget Wilson, Peter Gallagher, and Chris Catton. Also features Jeffrey Combs. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I don't know which is right. As the villainous ghost of Dr. Vannacut, who owned the house on Haunted Hill. It's not a house though. In this, it's been described as a mansion, but it's also just been described as a mental institute, and it doesn't look like a house. It looks like a castle, but maybe it's the Dark Castle. But the house in the original, the 1959 original, were weird looking anyway. Outside, it looked like it were made of the pattern to the stonework outside were like some from Mayan times. But then when you got inside in the studio, it was like a regular house. But anyway. Joshua says, I love this cast. Chris Kattan is the best part. Yes, he is. He's very funny in it. He is. Have we ever adjusted Vincent Price for inflation? Yes, it's called Geoffrey Rush. Although I think he's technically playing his version of John Waters rather than Vincent Price, but he's got a little moustache. And his character is called Price. Yes, Vincent is infinite. I like 13 Ghosts as well. I've seen it once, the remake. Well, I think I've seen the original one once. It's more of a comedy, I think, is it? I think. It's probably on YouTube. And I think I've seen the remake once with Tony Shalhoub in it, isn't it? But anyway. Windrush says, with the way things are these days, I'm surprised they aren't churning out a Castleverse cinematic universe. Yes, Castle cinematic universe. I'm not surprised. I don't know why they're not doing. It took me a while to deal with the 13 Ghosts remake. A lot of messed up happenings in that one, but worth it. This one, House on Haunted Hill, is only like vaguely similar to the original. They cover some beats, and there is a little bit in it that, there's like an homage. Well, I think it is. There's an homage to The Haunting from 1963 with a bendy door. I'm guessing that's where they got, it's an homage to that. But there's also a bit that it's like in black and white, but they have some red blood on it, which is an homage, I think, is to The Tingler. I think it's The Tingler, where it were in black and white, but they had a bath full of blood that were red. So I'm guessing that. I think it was The Tingler. They put so much effort into the background for the ghost in that movie that we didn't get to see. Yes, they all had different characters, didn't the ghosts? But we're not doing 13 Ghosts. We're doing House on Haunted Hill. Right, anyway, more info. Where are we? At a budget of $19 million, at the box office of $43 million, which I suppose is fine, I suppose. And I'm surprised it took so long to get the sequel. It is 2007, yes. It took 8 years to get a sequel, which is weird, isn't it? I wonder why it took so long. And it was straight to DVD as well. Right, is that it? Yeah, I think. See, she's here. As soon as I start, she hears my voice, probably knows from the tone of my voice, I'm doing a show. She thinks, right, I'll go and interrupt him. And she's here. The cat has arrived. If she starts meowing, I'll go let her out. Right, we'll get on with the film, shall we? I'll make myself titty-tiny. Obviously, we're not going to just be watching the film. We'll be... hang on, where are we? There we go. We'll be watching it in a series of stills, may play the odd snippet, but, and all that jazz. But, right, so off we go. Let me full screen this baby, and we'll get it going. Right, add to stage. Off we go. Should see that. There we go. Warner Brothers in black and white. It's not a black and white film, don't worry. I'll get dark, dramatic music. Hey, and there's the Dark Castle logo. There we go. Dark Castle Entertainment. And I really when I saw this, and I think 13 Ghosts as well. They've done other films as well. What other films have they done? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll just check. I think they have done some other decent films. Where is it? Dark Castle Entertainment. There we go. Let me click on that. Sod it, we're live. Ghost Ship. They did Ghost Ship, which were good. I liked the remake of House of Wax, but that wasn't a William Castle film, was it? I don't think it was originally. And Gothica. What else did they do? Stuff I've never heard of. Orphan. They did Orphan, which were a great film, I thought. And Splice, which we've done on Friday Night Appointment with Fear. We've done Splice. And they're still going. They're still releasing films. Old Guy, directed by Simon West, is out this year. So there we go. So they're still doing stuff. I thought they did another one. When is it? I thought they did. Oh no! I thought they did As Above, So Below, but they didn't. They were going to get that, but then they let another company sort of like take it off their hands or whatever, something like that. What is it? Something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, Jessica Knapp says, "Make Princess part of the show." She is. I can hear she's crunching biscuits in the kitchen. Maybe she'll like it and settle down, and maybe she'll decide she doesn't want to be around when you're doing it. She's a pain in the bum, aren't you? Jeez. My son came down like 5 minutes before I were to start. He went, "Oh yeah, you're doing a show, aren't you?" So he went to get a drink and buggered off again. The Injured Assassin was good. I've not seen that one. In fact, I don't think I've even heard of it. But anyway. I didn't remember they did The Losers, another one I've not seen. But anyway, right, off we go. Let's carry on. Dark Castle Entertainment. They do this opening titles that's in like stop motion. They said it's in the style of something I've forgotten. Win Grace will know probably. Joshua Kanapka probably know. I think we've seen it in another. I'm sure I've mentioned it in another film. This style of stop motion that's kind of, grungy and weird. But anyway, so there we go, like that. That sort of thing. I don't even know what that's for. Why is there some string around? I don't know. But anyway, House on Haunted Hill. Right. So anyway, we begin. All right, we're still in the credits, aren't we? So we're seeing all this stop motiony stuff, telling us who they are. So let's get through this. It is very good, very stylised and cool, and obviously something bad's going on because we're hearing screaming and seeing body parts and stuff. But let's just get on. There, co-producer Terry Castle, as I said, the daughter of William Castle. But I wonder why they didn't do any more William Castle films after 13 Ghosts. Don't know. Anyway, right, so there we go. Robert Zemeckis and Joel Silver. Right, Seagull's Cawing. Right, we're back in time now to the 1920s. I don't think it tells us the exact date, but I could be wrong. This is the writer, who wrote the screenplay. Don't ask me his name, I've forgotten. I'll have to look it up. Screenplay by Dick Beebe. That's it. This is Dick Beebe. Nice creepy titles. Yes. Maybe it says in the making of down here. He did say, I watched the DVD with the director's commentary, and he did say what style that they went with on the opening credits with the animation, and I've forgotten what he said. No, I can't see it. Bear with me. By the way, the makeup effects in this film are done by KNB, Greg Nicotero and Robert Kurtzman and others. So we've got some nice gore and stuff in this. There's a bit of cheekiness, so I'll have to be quick with me skip. Because nipples will be seen. And there's a monster in this. We'll see it when we get to it, but there's a monster in this. I think it's about an hour in that we see. It's actually in the scene that we're on about where you see it's black and white and you see some red. It's just after that bit that were designed by Dick Smith, the makeup designer, and they're going to use it in the film Ghost Story, which is one of my favourite Christmas ghost films from 1981, but he didn't use it, so he used it in this instead. No, it's not there. Never mind. Right, let's carry on. You mean what it's based on, or it has a specific title? The animation style. No, it's based. It's the style of these animators, and I can't remember what they were called. Not on any particular one, animated feature or short or whatever. Right, anyway, so here he comes. Does Dick Beebe with his pencils, as you can see. Let's go back again. Got his pencils in his hand. Look, really, really long pencils, it turns out they are. As we'll see. But anyway, he's going to sit down in his little office. He's obviously some sort of attendant or whatever at the Vannacut Mental Asylum or whatever they're called. Mental Institute or something like that it's called. Playing a record, going to sharpen his pencils now. Look, I've got one of them here, similar. Going to sharpen his pencils, there we go, and fill his forms. But then we cut to Jeffrey Combs as Dr. Vannacut, with two nurses. One of the nurses, I think this one maybe, is the assistant to the director, and she must be an actress as well. He always says, if I needed a scene, because we see her in the underwater bit again, I think. If we need a scene where they need somebody to get naked. She always volunteered, so there you go. Anyway, he's cutting open this poor fellow while he's still awake, so he's torturing people. We'll learn why in the sequel. He kind of just, you think like he's just evil in this, but we'll learn it's not really his fault in the sequel, but we'll get there. As you can see there we go. And how they do this? Is it like are they cutting into some like pork or something like that? Because it looks real, doesn't it? It looks like real skin. So is it like a leg of pork or something he's cutting into? I don't know. It didn't say in the commentary. Anyway, cutting this open. Or it could be, I don't know, something foam or something. And Josh Temple's here, harpoon at the ready. And in a great mood. He's got a hunting tag for Bambi this year. Poor Bambi. Anyway. So he's cutting this poor fella open while he's still awake. And then we hear noises from elsewhere in the institute, and there they are. Look, the crazies have got out. So anyway, basically, what's going to happen? They're going to take over the asylum and going to kill everybody. Here we go, glass shattering. And William Malone, the director, he said the actors they got for this scene, or extras, or whatever you want to call them. Ambience, atmosphere, that's what they call them, don't they? We call them extras, you call them atmosphere. The background players, that they've got to play these lunatics taking over the asylum, they struggled. When he said cut, they'd just carry on wrecking the place. And they'd to send people in to calm them down, so maybe they just got really into the roles. And he says it happened every time. Every take that they had them, going and wrecking the place. There we go. Ah! There we go. Sticks the pencils through his neck. Really long pencils, look. I don't think they're that long, are they? Unless he's got a thin neck. Maybe he has. I've never heard them called atmosphere before. Oh, I'm sure I saw it somewhere. I saw it somewhere where they said that in Britain it's called extras and in America they're called atmosphere. Something like that. Anyway. Yes, the council is convened. So there we go. So that's the end of Dick Beebe's character. Then the lockdown happens. All the cogs and the Lionsgate logo starts. And it's Vanicut that's done it. It's pulled this lever and it's locked down the asylum. So all these shutters come down and you can't get out. As it's showing it. There we go. So they're all attacking everybody, getting everybody. And there's a camera there. There was the nurse that were using the camera. She was filming Vanicut cutting that chap open. I like extras. I've seen everything. Yeah. Dear. And, I'm going to say, and Liam Neeson, but that were in Life's Too Short, isn't it? I think the Liam Neeson thing. But anyway. A bunch of serious method actors. Yes, it seems like there were. It seems like there were a bunch of serious method actors. But yes, extras is excellent. And the Christmas special that they did to wrap it up had me crying. But anyway. Looks like they were considering an Event Horizon scene. Possibly. We do see clips of it. We do see little bits of it here now. Somebody's going to pick up this camera and carry on filming. And we do see bits in black and white, look. So they're getting Vanicut now, cutting him open. And one of the nurses. But there's an end credit scene, which I didn't realise there was. I must have seen it before, but I'd forgotten about it. And luckily in the commentary, I just noticed. Sorry, that was a lady, sorry. Oh, heck. I didn't realise that was a lady, then I paused on there. Be kind, YouTube. It was an easy mistake. They weren't huge, were they? What was I saying? End credit scene. I didn't realise there was one. And luckily, William Malone said in the commentary, stick around for the end credit scene. So there we go. So there we go. They've killed Vanicut. And then we cut to Pathé News. Chicken Pate News. Oh, sorry, Josh. Be right back. Too late, Josh Temple. There's no escape once you've entered the house on Haunted Hill. Anyway, October 1931. That's when it was. 1931. It's on the news, and did they show stuff like this, in the newsreels? Because it looks quite gruesome. Oh my, Vandercut Psychiatric Institute for the Criminally Insane. So it's basically Arkham Asylum, isn't it? They're going to show. We see some quite gruesome stuff, such as that. Would they show that on the newsreels in the 30s? Probably not. And that. But anyway, so we're learning that it's all he's doing. He was doing all these crazy things to all these poor people in the asylum, and they got out and killed everybody, and a fire started, and they locked it down, and everybody burned to death. So that's what happened. But then we're learning this is on a section that's on Terrifying But True, or something like that, hosted by Peter Graves. There you go. He out-butchered Bundy and made Manson look meek. So he's talking about that. This is where we're going to meet Famke Janssen. She plays Evelyn Price. I had to think about that then, didn't I? Evelyn Price, the wife of Stephen Price, was the Geoffrey Rush character. And she's in a bath, boozing, in a bubble bath, boozing. I can't remember the last time I had a bath. I can't. There's showers and stuff in it now. We've still got us bath, but I never use it as a bath. We just stand in it and shower. Oh dear. I just have water going everywhere if I got in bath now. Yes, a bit of prodigy there. Anyway, there you go. So she's watching that with Bloody Mary, I presume it is. We'll be back with more Terrifying But True in just a moment. And he says, "I'm Peter Graves," and she went, "No shit." Oh, by the way, then she picks up a phone then, or a phone rings or whatever. Is she picking? I can't remember if she's picking up the phone because it's ringing, or she's had an idea. I think she's had an idea. She's phoning Stephen Price. By the way, they hate each other. Although it's suggested he doesn't hate her, but she hates him. But I think he does hate her. He's just pretending he doesn't hate her. Later in the film. I wonder if the race of the baddies from Star Trek Prodigy are named after this. Can't remember what they're called. Oh dear. I know what you mean, but I forgot what they're called. Anyway. Stephen Price. Oh no, by the way, there you go. Oh, you can't see it for me. See if it. I'll just move on. There we go. We see Steve. There we go. Mr. Stephen Price. Mr. Stephen Price dares you to ride the only roller coaster to the hereafter. You notice it's spelled with a V there. I went through the subtitles on this because some of the subtitles were a bit iffy on this copy that I've got here. Obviously, I watched the DVD earlier on, but I've got on my computer. I've got a different version. And the subtitles were all over the place. So I went through them with a fine-tooth comb. And sometimes in the subtitles it was spelt with a V, sometimes it was spelt with a PH. The end credits, Stephen Price is spelt with a PH. But whenever we see it written down in the film, it's with a V, look. The proper way to spell it. I can't get it under there. But never mind. Yes, Varnacat. Yes, Vandercut. Yes. Maybe it was. Probably not, but you never know. Yes, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? And his back is Josh Temple. Just been out and shot a deer. That's what he's done. Out in his back garden. I've always thought that he still loved her, couldn't help himself, despite knowing of her indiscretions. Not so much in the original with Vincent. No, he didn't like her, did he? But yet, spoilers for later, he still wants to murder her. That's why I'm confused. Because when she dies in it later. Sorry, you can't see me there, but she dies in it later, does Evelyn. And he gets all upset about it, and, as though he loved her and stuff. But then at the end, or near the end, he's wanting to murder her. And it was part of the plan all along, sort of thing. So I don't know, it's kind of confusing. In October, Bambi stands no chance. Till then, I just get to plan. Poor Bambi. I once tried venison. I wasn't keen on it, to be honest. Right, so here he is at the at this theme park, being interviewed hang on, by Lisa Loeb. You know, she's a singer, isn't she? I think she is. She's a singer. Being interviewed by her for some TV station. The cameraman is James Masters, everybody knows as Spike in Buffy. Anyway, he's on the phone to his missus. There we go, Evelyn. How nice, and a bit of banter and all that between them. So he's been interviewed. He's an amazing engineer, designs roller coasters and all that stuff. And he's going to take these two on a ride on his new roller coaster, the Terra Incognita, whatever it's called. So, but the first they have to go in an elevator. So off they go in the elevator. There we go. And it's obvious. It gets me crossed as this scene. It's obvious that, well, maybe not the side ones, but the screens that they're going to show when they point down, is it going to show us it? Show us they're supposed to be standing on a grate. There we go, a grated floor, and looking as though they're going up. Look, so but spoilers. Oh no, I won't spoil it. We'll get to it. So they're going up in the elevator, but then something goes wrong with it, and there you go. There's Spike. Look, in an early role, James Masters. And he's saying how good he is. Nobody's ever died on one of his roller coasters. Blah blah blah. What could go wrong? And then suddenly the elevator creaks and groans. There we go. And he says, "Don't worry, that we'd fall to his death if it wasn't for the safety cable." And then the safety cable, there you go, breaks, and there you go, and they go plummeting down. And so he's like going, "Oh no, we're falling to our death," and she's going, "Oh." James Masters jumping up and down as though to try and make it so that he don't fall. He's going to show it here. And then it go back again. There we go. And then it goes, look, we're going to die. There's jumping up. Oh Jesus! But then just as I'm going to show it, there we go. Just as Pete's sake. Just as they're about to hit the bottom, it's a screen, but have they no depth perception? I don't know. You'd know it wasn't real, wouldn't you? So it's just a screen, but it's like one of them things that you see in these Japanese game shows and stuff, isn't it, where people are confused by stuff. But I'd like to think I wouldn't be confused. But anyway, Joshua Knapp says ground venison like hamburgers on pizza is amazing. Maybe it is elk burgers are my favourite. One thing I've always wondered about this is how did they simulate the gravity? Exactly. They know they won't falling because that nothing's happening, is it? So unless I don't know, unless it's just because it's shaking a lot. Maybe it's just shaking a lot and discombobulating their inner ears or something. I don't know, but as I said, it's a bit daft. And then it says you have survived. Terra Incognita or whatever, and then he gets out and he says, there you go, it only gets scarier from here. There you go, from here it gets really scarier, just as a roller coaster goes by, whoosh, like that. And that's actually a special effect. It's not actually there. It's a composite effect, isn't it? Because they said if it were actually there, the wind had just, as the roller coaster going by, the air that it sucks along with it, would just like go blow him away. But so they did it like that. Right. So Lisa Loeb and James Masters are now going on this new roller coaster. There they are, going on this new roller coaster. So off they go. He's on the phone to Evelyn, and they're rowing. She's got a party. Her birthday's coming up. The party planned at the house on Haunted Hill. I think it's her idea. She wants it to be there. And she's got a list of guests that she wants to attend the party. And she says it's on his desk in his office. It says, whatever. So they have a little bit of a insult each other. Joshua says the power suggestion can be pretty powerful. Yes, it can. Lisa still looks amazing today, even better than here. I can't even remember what she did back in the day. I can't remember. Yes, she does. Let me look her up. Hey. See, you got me wondering now. Lisa Lube. And she's still performing. Yes, it was exactly the same, doesn't she? She hasn't changed a bit. Still got the same glasses and everything. Bless her. Bless her. Anyway. Right. Where were we? Oh, right, yeah. So they have a bit of banter, you know, they hate each other and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. So, meanwhile, they're still bombing round. Another effects shot, by the way. There's a bit of CG in this, but not much. It's mostly like practical effects or, you know, composites, you know, overlays and stuff like that, or filters and stuff like that. But obviously, you can't have two things at the same time on a roller coaster. Health and safety wouldn't allow it, would it? So that's not real. But they're still bombing round. They go, yeah, having a whale of a time. But then, doing, that happens. Are we watching Final Destination 3? Is it Final Destination 3 with the roller coaster? I've forgotten. Whichever Final Destination had the roller coaster. Are we watching that? No. Anyway, so they think they're gonna die, and I'm not sure what happens here. To be completely honest, this fella comes up. I think we see him later. I think he works for him. I think we see him at the house on Haunted Hill, and he has quite a gruesome destiny. I think it's him. I'm pretty sure it's him. He's saying there's a problem, and we're thinking, oh no, it's because the roller coaster's broken. Josh Kanaki says, yeah, 3. All right, I can. Final list. I've got them here. Got them all there. Final Destination films there. Look. One's the Final Destination. The second one's the one with the logs in it. 3's the roller coaster. Is it 4 with the stock car race? I can't remember. But we'll get round to these one day. God, can't bloody reach. There we go. Anyway, where were we? Yes, his tech man is running things at the house. I thought so. I thought it was him. I forgot his name. Schechter or something he's called. Something like that. Anyway, we think that he's saying something's wrong. We think it's because the roller coaster's broken. But there we go. And then we see it all fly off, look. Where they're going. So what's happening with them? Don't know. But so what? I don't. And see, they're now heading for the broken roller coaster thing. Then look, but then it fixes itself, right? So what happened to the first lot that came off? Were they just not real? Because I know there's some dummies in there. So is that like that first one, a dummy car? And is that just plunged to its death? I bet it has, hasn't it? It probably crashed into water or something a bit, hasn't it? I don't know. He said, don't tell us. And he's saying, no, the flailing arm model, his arm keeps coming off. He says, well, we'll just change him take him out and change him for a screamer. And then it shows, hang on, might be in a minute. Talking back to Evelyn. Oh, there we go. They show him putting another one in. So there must be, that's Greg Nicotero, that, isn't it? I've just noticed that. That's Greg Nicotero, the effects chap. First one was deliberate to set the tone for the following cars. Yes, it's full of dummies, isn't it? So they don't the people on the cars don't realise. But you think word would get out eventually, wouldn't you? That the first cars with dummies, and we'll watch that plunge to its destruction. But we're fine. But when we saw it break, it actually broke all jaggedy, didn't it? But then when it went back together, it were all smooth. Never mind. Anyway. So there they go. They're changing the flailing arm, one for a screamer. And she's still in her bath. Right. So we're back at his office, listening to Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson. And he's shredding Evelyn's guest list. And he makes up his own guest list. Here we go. So this is Mary Seward is inviting. And who else? Valdemar Tim Rack. And who else? Oh, and others. So that's who he's inviting. Because he's being spiteful. So then he's going to go and talk to the people from HRS Entertainment. Then as we're watching, his list gets deleted. There we go. As he's walking out. Or does he turn it off and then it pops back up again? Got all this state-of-the-art computer stuff. They all get deleted. Oh, hang on. Who did it say? Right. Mary Seward. You can't see it for my fat head. Never mind. Waldemar Timrack, Molly Vaughan, W.L. Malone, the director, and somebody whose name I can't see. Does it? Oh, Gilbert Adler was the last one, who was one of the producers. 5 guests, but we only end up with 4 in the house, and I don't get it. But we'll get to that. We'll see new ones popping up. Miss Jennifer Jensen, and Mr. Eddie Baker, and Ms. I forgot her name. Somebody Melissa Marr, and that's it. I'll not spoil it because there's another one, but he shouldn't be on the list. But anyway, was a doctor/lover. Spoilers on the list in the first time. You mean the first time the list he made, or do you mean the 1959 film? I don't know. I think we have to overlook that little plot hole. Anyway, here they are, driving up the road to the Griffith. Is it Griffith Observatory in LA? That's where they're headed. There's Ali Larter as Jennifer Jensen. We learn that's not her real name. She's actually called Sarah. She appears in the sequel, but played by a completely different person, I think. Look different to me, anyway. And it's showing us the little... there we go. Hang on. Go back again. Showing us the cards that they've got. There we go. There you go. Hang on, pause it a bit more. Oh, show us. There we go. Stephen H. Price. Stephen. With a V again. But in the end credits, it's with a PH. Hey. Oh, I've just noticed as well. Evelyn Stockard Price, his wife, and that name Stockard pops up again. But anyway, no, Steve Fenn's list. No. There you go, Miss Evelyn Stockard Price. And we see later on, spoilers, the names on the list that have been put on by the ghosts or whatever are all to do, with people that worked with Vanica earlier, all them time ago. And these are all members of their descendants. So obviously Evelyn's a descendant, curiously. So there we go. Right, so they're heading up here. There we go. Terror, humiliation, perhaps even murder. And they're going to get $1 million if they survive the night. Inside the walls of the house on Haunted Hill. But why did they not call it The House? Oh, you can't see, it's behind me again. Why did they call it Why did they call the film The House on Haunted Hill? Why is it just House on Haunted Hill? I don't know why. Ali Larter was too big a star by the time the sequel happened. Yes, probably. Probably got too much money. Let me just double check and make sure it isn't. I don't think it is, because it doesn't look anything like her. Stiljana Mitkova. That's who played Sarah in the sequel. Speaking of names like that, in this film, there's... let me find it. Slavitska Jovan is in this film. And she was in a famous film in 1984. Anyway. Oh, yes, the quaint late 90s when $1 million would actually buy you something. Hey. Is it chicken feed these days? Wish I had a bloody $1 million. But anyway. Right, so here we go. So they're heading up to Griffith Park. Here they're getting waved down by... This is Pritchett. I can't never bloody remember. Me and bloody names. Pritchett. Where is he? Where is he? Pritchett. I've seen this film loads of times. I still get the name wrong. This is Pritchett, the owner of Hill House. It's passed down to him from his family. His grandfather built it. Obviously, then Vandercut must have bought it, and then his father owned. I don't. He says his grandfather built it, but did he just rent it out to Vandercut then? I don't know. But then his father had it then, and the house killed him, and now it's his, and he's terrified of the house. Anyway, he's waving them down. And as we see, apparently he sleeps in his car. This is what William Malone said in the commentary. He owns this big house and rents it out and stuff. But the taxes and stuff for the house are cleaning him out, and apparently he can't sell it. Nobody wants to buy it apparently. So he sleeps in his car. So there we go. So here he is, saying we've got to walk up from here. So off they go. He's telling them to hurry up. So anyway, so as you can see, there's 4 guests. There's 5 checks for $1 million, and I don't know why. Because he's not getting one. Because he's getting a check of his own. Because he's just renting the place. But I don't know who the 5th check's for. And I can't remember in the original if there were 5 in that. I can't remember. Anyway. So here we are. See Jennifer Jensen, Eddie Baker, somebody or other, Blackburn, the Doctor, and Melissa something. I've forgotten already. I bet it just says Melissa in the bloody thing. Oh, Melissa Marr. There we go. Melissa Marr. Is she married to? Hang on, let me check. Just bear with me. She's called Sampras now, the actress, Bridget Wilson. But now she's called Bridget Wilson Sampras. It doesn't say. Just let me check. I'm just curious. Is she married to Pete Sampras? Yes, she is married to Pete Sampras. There we go. Right, okay, fair enough. That's just an aside. Weren't there 6 cars driving up the road? I didn't count them. Let's go back and check, shall we? There's a hearse at the front, and 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 4. There's 5, isn't there then? So I don't know who's in the hearse at the front, because we're assuming that Evelyn and Stephen are at the house already. So there'll be a car each for those others, but who's in the hearse? No idea. Because he's not in it, because he's just flagged them down. Anyway. Right, so he wants them to hurry up and get in there, because he wants his money and he wants to sod off. There's Pritchett. And then we have a nice, not really a special effects shot, but a miniature. But, they're all asking about... why have we been invited? I've never heard of this fella, and is the $1 million real and all that? And Pritchett just says, no idea. Ask Price when you see him. But right, are we going to see it? No, not yet. Hang on, I want to show that. There we go. That's not the. Obviously, it's not a real house or a real building. When we see it, it's a mixture of miniatures, actual locations, but not. Just part of it, and matte paintings. This is a miniature. It's a 15-foot miniature, and as we see, they use. There we go. It's a 15-foot miniature that's not that far away, but it was big enough so that they could do that. What they call rack focus or whatever, which gives it that bit of reality, doesn't it? Which is cool. I just thought that was really good. Bit of, it's not as far away as it looks. So there we go. Anyway, so off they go. Up the hill. The haunted hill. But now it looks like they're going down the hill, doesn't it? Oddly enough. Never mind. Right, so here we go. So they've arrived. Here we go. This is a combination of the Griffith Observatory and the matte painting. By the way, some of the visual effects like this were done by the Skotak brothers, who we saw do effects for Escape from New York on Monday. and Battle Beyond the Stars a couple of weeks ago. Bridget Wilson is married to Pete. She was the original Sonya Blade in the movie. There you go. So anyway, so they've arrived at the house. So in they go. Oh, it does have that door. Right. I'm watching the sequel and I'm thinking, have they changed the door? No, they haven't. But I think they've changed the entrance. In the sequel, I think it's totally different. They're just walking up this path, aren't they? And it's kind of a narrow path. And they couldn't take the cars up. But in the sequel, they parked right outside. Whatever. 8 years, they could have changed stuff, couldn't they? So anyway, so we're in the house on Haunted Hill now. There we see a big stained glass window that's supposed to represent the labyrinths of the mind, Windgrace. From Star Trek. Oh, that's in the archive, isn't it? That's what this is supposed to represent. The outer two, because you can see there's kind of a difference in styles, isn't there? For some reason, obviously that's an angel there. I think that's supposed to be a demon, isn't it? And then the in between, the id or whatever. But these two outer ones, the one with the angel and one with the demon, are done in like plexiglass, like being painted on, and then they've used tape to make it look like stained glass. But the central one is candy glass or sugar glass. Because it's going to break shortly. So anyway, so she's filming it, and they're all like, "Oh, isn't that cool?" There you go, looking at that, and they're wondering where are the prices. They're looking for them. They don't know where they are. But here goes. Evelyn arrives. I thought she was there, supposed to be there already, but she's just arrived now with a suitcase. Maybe she were in the hearse. I don't know. Maybe she waited for all them to bugger off and then walked up by herself. I don't know. But you'd think she'd have somebody carrying a bag for her, wouldn't you? You'd think. But anyway. Cool. So here she is. The lovely Famke Janssen. So she says, who the blinking flip are you lot? Because she obviously doesn't know them. And then as she says that, the window smashes just randomly. And all the glass come down. And Eddie jumps to her rescue and actually puts them probably more harm's way. I don't know. But he leaps over the table. Hang on. There we go. He leaps over the table. Oh, for Pete's sake. I'll just play it. and to protect her, but I've missed it again, haven't I? Let's go back again. There we go. Hang on, went too far. There we go. Leaps over the table to protect her, but then a huge, massive chunk of glass smashes into the table right next to her, and they actually did that for real. It were on on a mechanical thing, but she had to lie there really still. And it did actually, make her bump up. Scared her to death. But she was a trooper. And as you can see, she's got a little cut on her cheek, which kind of moves about a little bit. And sometimes it's not there at all. But it's mostly fine. So there we go. Are you on about... is she still on about bloody Mortal Kombat, aren't you? Anyway. Ooh, I think I've seen the first one, Mortal Kombat, and I don't think I've seen any of the others. But anyway. And I don't think I've ever played the game, ever, I don't think. But anyway, so that's all worried. What's happened there? And then she says to Eddie, "Get off me, you pervert." And then Stephen Price enters, saying, "I don't think she's ever said that to a man, to anything with testicles." Because he makes out she's always sleeping with other people. But right, so they're all being introduced, and I don't know if this were part of his plan or if it was just the house, but he seems fine with all this weird stuff that happens. He seems kind of fine with it mostly. I think sometimes he thinks she's behind some of the stuff that's happening. But anyway, there he says, "Let the games begin." So she's saying, who are these? And he said, I have no idea. So they have to go and have a little chat in her room. She must know where her room is. So, we see the fella who we saw in the park. He's running all this stuff that's supposed to be happening, but we never see any of it happening. But later, the broken glass thing was part of his plan. I don't know. Did it? I don't think it made it entirely clear, did it? I don't think. But truth, to my understanding, that gets resolved. Anyway, why has he got Blockbuster tapes there? It's there to do a job and watch these, monitors and stuff, not watch bloody videos under his sandwich. Anyway, so he's watching on monitors. There he is. Doesn't seem to do much else. He's got, like I say, he's got this control panel, but we don't really see him do anything else. He's just watching things happen. So anyway, she's in her room and they have a row, much like in the original film. William Malone said he wanted that scene in this film. Where you see some banter between them in person, not over the phone. So learn how much they hate each other. So they wonder, who invited these people? And he says, well, I didn't invite them. They're not the people that I sent invitations out to. She doesn't know them, so he says, was it the house or was it the ghosts that did it? But anyway, we learn that she's tried to kill him in the past and he's tried to kill her, apparently. I don't know, but anyway. So, and she bites him because he grabs her by the neck and or the hair, and she bites him. He says, that's the country gal I married. Anyway, so they go back to this. She's going to call a cab. She's had enough. She's not staying, so she's going to go. He's going to go see to the guests. Hang on. Where are we? There we go. He's just watching. You don't have to do all. As far as I know. Are you saying people can't watch videos while at work? No, you can't. You've got to do a job. Like, you can't stand with your hands in your pockets while you're at work. That's what I were always told. At work, never stand with your hands in your pockets, or the boss will find you something to do. In the first movie, people did try to go to sleep. Maybe he expected the same. Yes, maybe so. That's what he's saying. I guess I need to go then. I'll never make another stream again if that's the case. Tell you all at work. It's middle of the night here. But anyway. Don't go. I'm kidding. Anyway, right, so he comes down to see the guests. They're enjoying the amenities, but Pritchett just wants his check and he wants to go. He says, give me my check. Oh, and he's telling there's got five other bank drafts. So I wonder, has somebody not turned up? Or two of them mustn't have turned up because, spoilers, Blackburn wasn't on the guest list. So I don't know. It doesn't explain it. But anyway, it's got 5 checks made out to cash, and he signs them all for $1 million each. And I don't know how much he's paying Pritchett, but it's not $1 million. But he just wants his check so he can go. They go made out to cash. So he says he's going to go. And he's telling them, and if you die, you lose, and your money will be divvied out with the survivors. But they say, no, if you want to go now, go now. He says, I'll go now, just give me my check, he says. Starts writing out the check. They're all introducing themselves. Hang on, let's go back again. As they're introducing themselves. So just for the record, who are you? There you go. She said, Jennifer Jensen, Executive Vice President of some film studios or something. Hello, Scottish Geek Guy. How you doing? But we learned that she's not Jennifer Jensen, we learn, is her boss, and she's called Sarah. But anyway, there we go. Donald Blackburn, MD, and then we've got there you go, Melissa Margaret Mart, celebrity. She's some sort of host, or like reality TV or something like that. And then we've got Eddie Baker, former pro baseball player. There he is. So that's the 4 guests, but he's got 5 checks. I don't get it, but never mind. And we also learned that there's a price as well. As well as a stock card, there's a price as well in the list of people that used to work at the asylum. But anyway, it's all kind of confusing. Didn't go to all this trouble in the original. But anyway. Right, so they're asking, how did he get the names? Throw darts at a phone book and says, I have no idea. I have no idea who any of you are. But but Pritchett is saying, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I want my goddamn check. There we go. Right now, so good makes it out to him. So starts writing his check. Then we see the lockdown starting. Oh no. So he hears that, he grabs his check and he's off and running. He doesn't make it. Hang on, let's show it. He slides towards the door. He's heading for the door. Oh, no, never mind. Good job. There we go. There we go. It's like, good job he didn't like halfway through and just get cut in half. But there you go. So they're trapped inside now. And he does try and get out. He goes and runs to another window. And tries to smashes the glass with his hands and cuts all his hands and stuff, but they can't get out. They're describing that it's the lockdown. It's how they all burned to death in 31 because they couldn't get out. But not much fire damage, is there? They all burned to death, but never mind. Ricky's telling them that it's the house that's alive and all that, and it's going to kill them and all that. The phone lines don't work either, so they try the phones, but phones don't work. Because of the metal plates, it's acting like a Faraday cage, I presume. No signals are getting out. And he's saying, you all turned deaf, it's the house. But they don't believe him. So I don't know what's going to happen with her cab. If she managed to call a cab, I don't know, but she's got a drink anyway. Is it a martini? I don't know. She comes down. She thinks it's one of Stephen Price, one of Stephen's thingies. What's the word? Amusement things he's done, But anyway, he says he had nothing to do with it. So there's got to be a control room. That's what they said. There's going to be a control room. Despite all their rage, it's still just a Faraday cage, yes. Is that a line, 2 lines from a song? Sounds like it, doesn't it? There's some sort of control room, where they can open everything up, and I think he says, down the basement somewhere. I think he says, but anyway, so they're going to go looking for the control room. All right, and before they go off, split it up. Hey gang, let's split up and search for clues. Before they do that, Evelyn suggests to Price that he hands out his party favours like he did in '94 in their Son of Sam hunt. This is where they get their guns. So in little coffins. Hang on, and there they are. Don't ask me what sort of gun it is. I don't know. But they've all got those, and they're all loaded, and apparently the clips have been welded shut. Is that a thing that you can do? I have no idea. But they've just got whatever bullets are in them. There we go. So she says, how will she know if they're loaded? And says, well, only one way to find out. So she points the gun at him, but decides not to shoot him. Right, so Jennifer Jennifer, Eddie, and Pritchett are going to go looking for a way to get the lockdown off. And he says he's got to go and do something. She says, you go checking the wiring on your animatronic mummies, and he says, no, I'm going for a leak. So there they are, going looking down in the basement, and luckily she had a torch with her. Put it in a pocket, I don't know, but Eddie says, oh, you're handy to have around. There you go, like that, because she just happens to have a flashlight with her. They end up in this room. He turns the lights on. He finds like a breaker or whatever. Does Pritchett turns the lights on, and we see in this room there's 3 sculptures. They're going to show us. Is it chuff? Tell you, bloody skipping. There you go. There's 3 sculptures. There's they're based on that's based on actual body art, I suppose you'd call them, wouldn't you? They're based on actual body art. From the turn of the century, though, there's been more modern ones, haven't there? We saw some in Casino Royale, didn't we? Where that fella's like using embalmed people with no skin on and stuff, hasn't he? As like, body art. Anyway, but these are copies of ones from the turn of the century and made out of foam. So there's 3 of them. There's a fella on a horse. There's another one there, and there's one of a child. If it'll show us. There we go, that one. Quite, gruesome, but cool as well. Right, so they carry on their explorations. The house is falling apart, and he saves her from some crumbling masonry, blah, blah, blah. Pritchett thinks he's going to die at any minute. And then they walk down the corridor. There we go. And as they're walking, it turns into a a monitor screen, where, is it Schechter, whatever he's called, is watching, and then Price comes in. Yes, it is Schechter, and says, you could have warned me about that lockdown thing. And Schechter says, I didn't do anything, that wasn't me. It just happened. Maybe it's the time it just decided to fall apart or whatever, but it wasn't him. But anyway, there you go. It's saying it wasn't me. So maybe the glass thing was him. I don't know. But you'd think that Pritchett wouldn't be very happy, would he? Renting out a house just for somebody to blow up possibly a priceless stained glass window. But anyway, I don't know. Well, he said he had nothing to do with it. So anyway, so he's going to go back to the guests. They're still looking for a way to turn off the lockdown. This is an area that his father tried to seal it up. We come back here later on, near the end, and I think he died trying to do that. So they head away, but here we go. See, stuff's happening. Look. Stuff were happening there. Muffled screams. Then what they find? She finds this. I don't know. Officers. They're finding, officers and stuff. This is where they did the electro therapy thing, which we'll come back to later on. Pritchett probably hoped the place would burn down or blow up. Probably. But it's costing him money for some reason. Why don't he just, I don't know, why just move away or something? Or go to Mexico, where the government can't chase him up for taxes on the place that he doesn't want to own anymore. Just burn it down for the insurance. But anyway. They found these rooms. Apparently there's 18 rooms, where they used to do this electric shock therapy. What else? Is it Vandercut? They find the saturation chamber, something like that. This is the chamber that Vandercut made, where it's basically a big zoetrope thing. It's supposed to make a sane man mad and a mad man sane. by Vannicott's reckoning. You can never escape California taxes. So they found that. It was treatment for schizophrenia. Right. Yeah, like a zoetrope inside, you know, that with all the slits in and it spins around fast and you see stuff move and stuff. And it also plays loads of noises. We see it later. Right, where are they now? They go wandering off by themselves for some reason. I think they find Vannicott's office, I think. She finds like a fuse box or something. So, being handy, she wants to get the lights on, and he helps her up and cops a feel, you know, the bottom. And so she says, "Hey, pal, that wasn't code for us." And she goes, "Oh, forget it." So she gets some lights going, and then we can see there's some chemistry between them, but not really. Then what? Then he tells her that she tells him that she's not really Jennifer Jensen, she's Sarah whatever. I can't remember her last name. Does it say? Sarah Wolf. Jennifer Jensen's her boss, and she's, you know, pretending to be her. So she says, "Don't tell anybody." Right. Then they noticed that they noticed earlier that Pritchett and Price had wandered off, but then she turns around and Eddie's not there anymore, and then she sees him walking through a doorway. He says, "I thought you were, you know, one of the good guys," and so she's lost him, and it's starting to annoy her. Anyway, then he sees her. She sees him, sorry, at the end of the corridor, and he just walks off. So she goes after him, but we know something's up. I don't know why this is in German. Some German writing here for some reason. It says alarm. Don't ask me what it means. And she sees him here, and he's got an evil look in his eye. Is he going to show it? For Pete's sake. There we go. He's got Blade Runner eyes. They did that deliberately. They wanted us to think that it's not really Eddie, because it's not really Eddie. So they decided to do the Blade Runner eyes thing, which is done with a sheet of glass or something, reflecting the light into the eye, giving him red eye, basically. So he just wanders off, so she goes after him, and then she sees him standing on the edge of this vat of blood. There he is, just standing there, and as she watches, he just jumps in. This isn't the actor, this isn't, I forgot his bloody name already, Trey something or other, I forgot his bloody name, Tay Diggs. It's not him, it's a stunt man. And this blood, at first they used some, you know, fake blood or whatever, and it were too red, it looked like tomato soup, he said. And then I think they tried some others, and it were too, they tried some that were too black, and then they found this other stuff that like syrupy things. I don't know. Maybe it's corn syrup or something. I don't know. But that was just right. You know, you go in, it looks black, but when you're in it and splashing about, it's red and all that. So that's what they use. Anyway, in he goes. Is he going to go in? Am I on this? Are we working? There we go. There we go. In he goes. Splush. And she says, "Oh, Eddie, what are you doing? You've gone in there." So she goes running in and tries to get him out. His hand comes up. So she's trying to grab him. Obviously struggling to pull him out. And then we hear a voice, "What the hell are you doing?" And we see Eddie's there. There he is. The real Eddie. I don't think it's that much difference. But it's still the same expression. Same, you know, dopey expression. But anyway. So something tries pulling her in. We never see what. I presume it's fake Eddie. But maybe it's turned into a monster. We don't see. Trying to pull her in, and you think he's going to save her because he goes running round, but he doesn't actually. Whatever, he must just let go of her, and she falls backwards. In a minute, oh, for Pete's sake, she falls backwards, and she's fine, just covered in red goopy blood stuff. crying. Because she's a girl. Right, then we cut back to the main area. We could hear her screaming. And there she's saying, looks like the games have begun. They come back, she's taking her coat off, and she's obviously cleaned herself up somehow. And she's saying, no, I'm not all right. Something just tried to drown me in a tank of blood the size of a Buick. And she wants to know what's going on. Obviously, she's blaming Stephen, but he don't know what's going on. And Pritchett keeps saying, it's the house. They will never get out of here. It's rotten to the core and all that. And then they decide they're going to all stick together. They think, that's sensible. All stay in the same room just until morning. Apparently at 9:30, the clean-up crew will come in. And they'll be saved. I don't know how they'll get in if it's all locked down. Don't know, but... so if they stay there, they'll be fine. But then they realise Melissa Marr, I think, whatever she is, Mrs. Pete Sampras. She's missing. She's not there with them, so they've got to go and find her, haven't they? Typical. They'd all been safe, wouldn't they, if she hadn't wandered off. But she went wandering off with a bloody camera. So they decide they've got to go and look for her. There you go, where is she? But now we see where she is. She's down here in the basement. See, she's in this room with the sculptures, with her camera, filming them. Because she thinks she's a bleeding reporter or something. If I recall correctly, the doors unseal at dawn or some such. Don't know. It don't tell us in this. it don't, because spoilers. It kind of just ends where it's still all sealed up. So we don't see it opening up. Do we? No, we don't. We don't see it open of its own accord. But we'll get there. Right, so she's filming away. And she hears noise and stuff. So she goes to investigate. And then we see that what she's seeing through her camera isn't what she's seeing with her own eyes, as we'll see. There she goes into this operating room. And actually what she's seeing on this screen here is not, actually what she's filming. It's actually a recorded video, and she's got to try and match the movements of the camera, which she does quite well. But there we go. As she's looking round, there we go. She sees, there we go, an operation underway with Vanacut and his nurses operating on somebody. And she's like, what the? She moves the camera down, and there's nothing there. Well, she can just look up, can't she? But she's showing us look. She moves the camera down. There's obviously nothing there. And then she brings the camera back up, and they're still there. Look, working away. But then they turn and look at her so they can see her. So she's like, "What the?" She kind of reminds me of Emma Caulfield a little bit. Who played Anya in Buffy. A little bit, not much. Insert we're supposed to between doors and unseal. I don't know. Because it doesn't. At the end, I said something happens, to make one of the things open, but it doesn't. It's not the house that's done it. It's one of the characters that does something. But anyway, she turns round. There you go. She sees this chap at the end of the corridor, and he does a down the corridor to scare us as we're looking. Come on, here. There he is. Looks like that's music video, wasn't it? But then we get some flash images of the stuff that's been going on. This is the Event Horizon thing. I'll go through this a frame at a time because we get a lot of them. Don't know who that is, but they're getting grabbed. This is. Remember I said there's. I forgot about the name already. Slavica Jovan. She plays Twisted Nurse, which is this character. She played Gozer in Ghostbusters. There you go. Bloody hell. So we've seen all this flash imagery of bad things happening. There we go. Oh, crikey, that was close, wasn't it? Of bad things happening. There we go. Scary faces. And stuff. That's it. All happens really quickly. And then something gets her. There we go. It's the librarian ghost from Ghostbusters gets her. She screams. The bus boys start playing. So, I think they hear a scream, maybe. So they're going to go and look for her. He knows she's dead. So they're going to go and look for her. And they arrive at where the scream came from. They just find blood on the floor. There we go. And the camera's open. Maybe open when she dropped it. I don't know. I thought the tape had gone, but they don't play it back. Anyway. And they see that I think the is it this one where they follow the trail of blood and it goes up the wall and across the ceiling and disappears. There we go. Yes, disappears into wherever, into the house. The house has taken her, basically. That's what they're saying. Right, so they head back and she's going to watch the tapes there. Look, she's going to watch the tape. There you go. So they're watching what happened. Let's see. Oh, are we seeing the... not much. They're not seeing much, to be honest. That a body gets dragged off. Something gruesome's happened to Melissa. Anyway. So, what's going to happen next? What they're rowing about. Oh, yes. She's got the gun, and he says to her, "I'd never give you a loaded gun." And says that, and she pulls the trigger, and we see that the guns are loaded, like that. So that surprised him. Anyway, so she says she's going to bed, and she says, "If anybody comes to bother me, if you even look through the keyhole, I'll empty this clip in." There you go, into their effing head. So she's off to bed. Anyway. He's saying, if I wanted to murder my wife, I wouldn't do it in a locked house with all these witnesses and stuff, in front of everybody. But anyway. Who's saying that? Oh, he is. Blackburn decides he's going to go and try and find Melissa for some reason, even though we've seen all this blood and scraping up the wall and all this stuff, but he's still going to go and try and find her. But he's got other things to do, we learn. Something gruesome has happened to Melissa, a great B-movie title. Yes, it is. That'd be how the film would start, wouldn't it? The gruesome thing happening to Melissa. But anyway. He's off to do something nefarious. Spoilers. And Price is going to go and see what's going on. He thinks Evelyn's behind what's going on. So he's going to go ask Schechter. But something's happened to Schechter. There we go. He's had his face taken away, nice and gaudy. Still got his teeth though. Bit of a gap there. I wanted to have a look at this console. Did we see a close-up earlier on? See if there are any labels on it. But I never thought to. Then looks at the monitor, and then we see Jeffrey Combs as Vandercut walking into the room. And how they did this, they had Jeffrey Combs walking in really slow motion, like that. Really slow motion. And filmed it at 4 frames per second. And then when they filmed it normally, it would sort of like walking in a weird way. It looks weird. There you go. Oh, and it does that. We see a lot of that in this film. The ghost going for some reason. The ghost do that. Ghosts I've seen have never done that, but never mind. Every time you say Evelyn, I Evil Lyn, like from He-Man. Yes, that's been said to me before. We've had an Evelyn before, haven't we? In something. I can't remember what. And that's been pointed out. So, that's how I pronounce it, Evelyn. I know it cannot be pronounced Evelyn. They might pronounce it Evelyn in this, I don't know. But I pronounce it Evelyn. Anyway, let me have my Yorkshire foibles. Right, so he's like terrified now. He knows something's up with his John Waters pencil moustache. That's kind of supposed to be like Vincent Price, but not really. They're trying to use like some crowbar or whatever to pry open the shutters, but it's not happening. What's he doing? He's just looking for some more drinks, I think. Evelyn's not in bed. We saw she was not there, didn't we? She's changed her clothes. It's a trident. Where the bloody hell get a trident from? Trying to prise it up. Not working. It's not working. Right. Where is it now? What's happening now? This fridge, I think this is a fridge, plays a part in the sequel. I presume it's the same fridge. We think he's still looking for Melissa, but he's not really, I don't think. What's he looking for? Oh, the lights keep going on and off. Who's that? Oh, it's them. They've arrived. Oh, yes, that's it. There's like a noise going on. There's like an almost deafening, like metallic noise going on. Hang on. They got the trident from Brick. I killed a man with a trident. I'm sure the trident is a fireplace poker-like substance. Oh, it could be a trident. We've got a trident in this house. Aidan's got one on his bedroom wall. Bizarre, I know, but he has. So they're in this weird noise. They don't know what it is. Then they hear this screaming, and Evelyn is writhing on one of these electroshock tables. There she is, being electroshocked. Is she really, though? I don't know. Is it all part of an act? But anyway, that's what's supposed to be happening. She allegedly been electrified. They're struggling to find the on-off switch, the way to turn it off. And eventually they do. But, they're too late. There we go. Looks like Blackburn finds the switch, doesn't it? So it all stops, and he checks on her, can't find her pulse. He says she's dead. He says, I'm sorry. I love me some tridents. Maserati for the win. Yes, that's their logo, isn't it? Yeah. He says she's dead. Blood comes out of her mouth. And he says she's dead. And this is where the scene where we think, oh, he does have some feelings for her, does Price. Because he's genuinely shocked that she's dead and not by his hand. Maybe that's why he's shocked. I don't know. It's not him that's killed her. So he's like, genuinely sorrowful, it seems. There we go. He has a little weep. But then he gets angry and he says, one of you MFers has murdered my wife. There you go. He says, Evelyn sure as hell didn't kill herself. And then what else does he say? He says, no, I didn't do it. It just leaves her with C. Which is that? One of you MFers murdered my wife. So that's what he thinks. And then he says, he's been chasing. He's only saw him on the monitor, but anyway, been chasing this Jeffrey Coombs all the way, all over the house. But anyway, he's going to get his vengeance, sort of thing. Right, so, yes. Hang on. See, they're all pointing guns at one another. I've only watched this like a couple of hours ago, and I bloody forgot what happened already. There you go. So they have a bit of fisticuffs. There we go. A bit of shooting happens. They're all fine. the electric stuff comes back on again. Blah blah blah. Aye, and the disarm Stephen Price. Jeffrey Rush is underrated as an actor. He is amazing. He's an amazing actor, Jeffrey Rush. He won an Oscar in the year that this came out for Shine, didn't he? Won for best actor. Love him as Casanova Frankenstein. I can't say I've seen that. he's Barbossa, isn't he? He's Barbossa. You better start believing in ghost stories, Missy, 'cause you're in one. Sound more bloody Scottish then, didn't they? But never mind. Anyway, they've locked him in the saturation chamber, so he's not happy about that, but they said leave him there. So they're going to go off now, is Sarah, we know she's called Sarah now, Sarah and Eddie and Pritchett are going to go off, I think, and still try and find a way out. And Blackburn says he's going to keep an eye on Price, and says he's going to be okay. Says, well, I hope, but anyway. And then he starts basically taunting Price, saying, I can't hear you. And then he turns on the saturation device. Right. That is character in Mystery Men. That's a great film, yes. I couldn't remember. I can't remember the name. I could only remember the Blue Raj, and that's about it. Oh, and the Spleen. Those are the only characters I can remember. Anyway. But Mystery Men, another underrated film. Great film is that. Anyway, he's making out. They can't hear Price, and he turns on. He says, what happens if I press this button? And he turns on the saturation chamber. And then just walks off. There you go, turning it on. There you go, he walks away, leaving Price in this. Is going to drive him insane. Meanwhile, they're doing something. I can't remember what. They found Vannicutt's office. So they're going to go and look for stuff. There you go, the zoetrope is activated. And we see like a cartoon, I suppose, of Vannicutt. There he is, you can just see him pointing. You can just see him there. Like he's bouncing a ball or something. There he is. And there's all these weird noises as well going on. But there sees this sign, in case of severe psychotic disturbance, apply hypercoma filters. And we see there's some goggles hanging down. There they are. So he puts them on. They're supposed to help. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Gallagher likes to play total a-holes. I don't know. He's got one of those faces where I know I've seen him in other things, but I can't think what off the top of my head. Why didn't Price just close his eyes and not look? Yeah. He just sat down in the middle, closed his eyes and put his hands over his ears, but no. He's got to put on the cool goggles, the kind of almost steampunky goggles. I've got some of them, actually. I don't know where I've put them. Never mind. So he puts them on, and then we get this scene where we see the zoetrope thing of Vannicutt, but then he pops into reality, it seems, in a minute. There we go, pops into reality. And then we see him with this weird filter. He described it as like a Van Gogh filter, or Van Gogh. But, like I can get in Photoshop, can't you? You can just run the filter, make it look like a painting. It's just like a relief map, in it, I suppose, really. But they put that on him just to make him look funky and weird. So there we go. So he's having fun in the saturation chamber. Meanwhile, what's happening here? Oh, steady on. I think it's actually, but now we're in his vision. He's having visions now, his Price, of what went on in the asylum. You're just steampunk Steve. No, I'm not. I just got some goggles. I saw him. I saw him at a convention once on like a steampunky table, and I saw these little goggles, and I thought they might come in handy for something. So I bought them, and I never wore them a couple of times to try them on, but I've never worn them, in anger. And I can't remember where I've put them. They're around. Oh dear. where were we? Oh, right, yes, he's having this, his visions or whatever in black and white of what went on. Hey, steady on. We saw that naked lady there, sort of suspended. We see that's supposed to be that's Price, isn't it? Held down with that over his mouth. Looks like a Joker mouth, doesn't it? Kind of. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, down there, and here we hear the Gozer talking to him. You've been sick, Mr. Price. Maybe she does some backflips as well because she's nimble. You can wear them in cosplay to TOYG mid-2025 to celebrate Star Trek Legacy. There's see more creepy faces. Dramatic music. Then he's in the water. Oh, that's it. That's what they do. They wrap his face. There we go. In rubber and metal and wire, and then chuck him in water. And the director, William Malone, was saying, this amazing actor, Oscar-winning actor, I don't know if they're Oscar-winning when they made this, but this amazing actor, and I just wrapped his face in rubber and with metal wire around it and threw him in a swimming pool. So that's what they do. They throw him in there. And he soon gets the stuff off his face. There we go, he rips it off, look. And then he's swimming about. And he sees this young lady. Hey, steady. Ooh, cracky, that was close, wasn't it? But as he sees her, God, I have to be quick with these. This is there we go. I think it was from The Tingler. Like I said, I think this is an homage to William Castle films. Obviously, I think it was The Tingler, in black and white, and it had a scene of blood in a bathtub. You see this bathtub filling up with red blood, the only colour in the film. I'm guessing this is an homage to that. I think it was The Tingle. But anyway, so she's doing that. So, like I say, he's having his visions. Is that it? I think that's it. Yes, we see he's still in there going, I'm going crazy. And all that jazz. We haven't done yet, have we? I forgot about this bit. And then he sees Evelyn bouncing a ball, and she started the ball that we saw Vanacut bouncing. She was bouncing that. It's a soccer ball. Let's go back again. There we go. A soccer ball. And it's Evelyn. It looks like a fella's arms, that, doesn't it? Surely that's not Famke Janssen's arms. But it turns out it is her. But she's bouncing that. Apparently he just wanted a smooth ball. Did the director. Smooth red ball. That's all he wanted, a plastic red ball. And they couldn't find one anywhere. And the only one they could find was this, like a soccer ball, like that, with the stitched leather, things on. And it's all the only one they could find. So sod it. So they filmed the scene and, used that. And it said the very next day, the props department fella actually found a smooth red ball. And he said, it's too late now. We're not refilming all that just because you found that ball. The med do. Anyway, she's bouncing that, and it turns into Price's head. There we go. Doesn't look much like him, does it? But never mind. The moustache is too thick for one, but... there we go. Then we see it's Evelyn. Look, laughing at him. Evil laughing. That's why she's called Evelyn. Oh dear. And see, it's all good. Steam hissing. It's all because he's going crazy in there. Right, in Vanacut's office with brains in jars. Does nobody go and clear out these places? They don't though, do they? I've seen these urban explorers on YouTube, and they go into old hospitals and stuff. And there's files and things that you think, why ain't the authorities taking all that away? It could be classified, not classified, but personal information for people. And anyway, whatever. So, no, yeah, stuff does get left, doesn't it? Anyway, he finds this thing with the people that work there. So we have a look. There we go. So who we got? Stephen Price. Somebody called Baker. It's obviously, that's the Baker one, isn't it? It obviously doesn't look very black, but there's a reason for that, we find. somebody called Oliveri there. I can't read these bloody things. It's going to show us better. Is it going to show us a close-up? There we see Vannacut. There we go. Stockard, which, Evelyn's maiden name, I suppose. Who else? There, Jensen. We had Jennifer Jensen, didn't we? But remember, she's not Jennifer Jensen, remember? She's Sarah Wolf. But that's how the guest list were made. They were all people that worked there. Franklin Baker. He's Marr. Jasper Marr. So Franklin Baker, I think he was black, wasn't he? Is he? Don't know. Can't really tell from that photo. But anyway, they're all there. All the people that were invited were related to people that worked with Vannacut back in the day. There were the 5 survivors, except there's only 4 of them. But anyway, but Blackburn's not there, we see. Anyway. Meanwhile, behind the old bookstore, yes. Yeah, like those Russian ones that found a giant pool with a dead shark they just left behind. I've not seen that one. I've not seen that one. But the only Russian things I've seen is that it's just all the same fella that always goes into this house in the middle of the woods that's like super haunted and things are flying about. And I'm thinking, this isn't real, is it? Anyway. And that other Russian one where they went into this hangar and saw the Buran, or Buran, however it's pronounced, the Russian version, Soviet version of the space shuttle, just there rotting away. But anyway, Baker is not of African descent. There's a reason why, anyway, whatever. Right, where were we? Well, he is obviously of African descent. But we are told essentially why these two survived, but not from want of trying from the evil forces there. But anyway, notice there's no Blackburn there. And then he's saying it's the house that invited all the people. And they said, well, how did that work? And he says, the evil forces in this house are basically energy, and they can use electricity and water and stuff to move through. And so Sarah suggests that it moved through the phone lines and into a computer on the internet and all that. And yeah, whatever. There you go. That's where they're talking about that. But he's saying, it's just the house. It's evil. Keeps telling them. Right, then he's noticing that Blackburn's name's not on here, so why were he invited? And we'll learn soon. There we go. We see Evelyn still lying, dead, and Blackburn comes in a minute. There he is. Being a bit creepy. There we go. He wipes the blood off her mouth. He's talking about the poor Evelyn Price. And but ever so compliant now, or whatever he says, something like that. Because he kisses her, cooperative. He kisses her and gives her a feel up. And then he gives her an injection into her thigh. He said he made the point in the commentary of saying, in case you're wondering, he's injected into her thigh. Because it looks like he might be injecting her somewhere else. I love how matter-of-fact Pritchard is with everything. I think he just knows he's doomed. Now he is, and he would, at the beginning, he was like frantically trying to get out, wasn't he? But now he just knows he's doomed. So, anyway. Is there a horror movie where the ghost used the fax machine? Is it too late to make it now? Facsimile coming mid-2025. And the sequel will skip ahead and use a 3D printer. Eh dear. Ooh. Get it written. And you're in America already, so you can just drive over to California. It's not far, it's only 3,000 miles, isn't it? But it's a straight road. And deliver it to somebody. To Dark Castle Entertainment. Knock on Joel Silver's office door. I say, I've written this script called Facsimile and I want it made by the middle of next year. Do that. Anyways, injecting her, not in her thingamabob, injecting it into her thigh. And she comes to. There we go. She grabs hold of him. There we go. What do you think you're doing, mister? We see she's super fine, and we learned that he'd given her an injection of something at some point. Don't know when. That I don't know if it stopped her heart, but it just made it slow. Made her look dead, basically. Only 2,012 miles. See, it's nothing to you Americans. You Americans over there. You just jump in your cars and you just drive off across country and you don't give a monkeys. You just go, because you know that every 5 miles is like a motel or a diner. Oh dear. But for me, in the UK, just a trip to the seaside, it was like, I don't know, 70, 80 miles trip to the seaside. It's like a major operation. Anyway, I think that happened in The Net with Sandra Bullock. I've seen that, but I say a long time ago. I can't remember what happens in it. I get that mixed up with conspiracy theory for some reason. I don't know why. The Diner, yes. The diversity, inclusion, and equity. No. I'll pitch that idea too, he says. Anyway, we see she's alive. We're all in it. They were in cahoots. Were Blackburn and Evelyn. Bloody hell. They were in cahoots. Just like in the first film. That's what happened in the original film. The Price's wife, was... was she hanged in the first film? I think she was, wasn't she? She had a lover in that. But there were more mature people, weren't there, in that? As in a bit older. See, it's a 52-mile drive to work for me each way. So there you go. You just do it. You just go and drive. Hey. Anyway, so they're having a kiss, and there you go. Atropine. Don't ask me what that is. But saying they all fell for it, and so now they can go about their plan. But they've got to get the others scared enough so that they'll think Price wants to kill all them. No, not hung, hanged. The Price, wants to kill all them, so they'll kill him, and so they'll get off scot-free. So they can kill, and whatever. But that's the plan. This is pretending to. This is what the plan is, Oh, it's all my fault and blah blah blah. Until so and so shot my husband. Oh no. But they don't know that that's going to work. She's thinking, it's because they haven't found what's happened. They don't know what's happened to Melissa yet. They're thinking, she could put a spanner in the works if she's running about doing stuff. So she's got to have another plan. So, there you go. What we need is another body, she says. And I was thinking, when I was watching it, I thought, when she was dead, did part of the house get into her, I wonder, until I just turn her proper evil. But no, I think she's just evil. Because she stabs him. She says, I've got another plan, and hear me out. And she stabs him viciously with a scalpel several times in his guts. And there we go. And he falls down. There we go. And we see it from his point of view. So it's all bleeding out. And then the last thing he sees, there we go. Last thing he sees as we iris in is Famke Janssen. Kind of looking a bit, what have I done? But don't know. They're back up in the main room. Notice she's got this blackish coat on. That changes in a bit. So Pat Stew says so. Yes, he says hung as well, doesn't he? My mother was hung. Agreed, she's just evil, because she's Evelyn. Evelyn can't. That's her last name. No, it's not. It's Stockard Price. Anyway, what they're doing. Oh no, there was a reason. There was a reason he was sitting there playing with this, and I forgot what he said it was. It's from another film, and I can't remember what it is. Him playing with this, whatever it is, and I can't remember what it is. I don't know why he thinks Blackburn's dead. I can't remember what happened, but anyway. Oh, yes, we see this ghostly figure. This is Evelyn. I don't know why her dress looks all ghostly for some suddenly, but it does. Like the lady in black, the woman in black, isn't she? But she's headed to the saturation chamber. There you go, hands all covered in blood. And she opens the door, and Stephen Price drops out. Meanwhile, they're looking for stuff, and they come across this room. I think they've gone looking for Blackburn, haven't they? They come across this room to see this a saw all covered in blood, and there's all blood on the floor. So they go to the saturation chamber. For Pete's sake, I'm too late. They go to the saturation chamber, open it up. Oh my! They look through the thing and they see Blackburn's face up against the glass, and they open it up, and it's just his head. There, and the headless body falls out. So Evelyn had sawed up, must be strong, so she must have dragged Blackburn's body up on and got it up onto that gurney and sawed off his head, and then dragged it all the way back, and obviously dragged Price away. So, like I say, maybe she works out, I don't know, but she doesn't look that strong, does she? But anyway. But they say a madman has the strength of 12, 10, whatever. But this does the trick. This does the trick for what Evelyn were after. Because there you go, because that's, I think it's Sarah shouting that, Price, you murderer. She's ready to go and shoot Stephen Price now. You saw her arms and hands pretty strong. Well, yeah, when she was doing that ball. Obviously a man, wasn't it? But never mind. Dear. Maybe she used the psychic powers, because she is Jean Grey after all. So, yeah, I bet she did that. I bet she levitated him with her psychic powers. Psychokinesis. Yeah. Anyway, so she's going looking for Roger Price. Who the hell's Roger Price? Don't know. Stephen Price. Is there somebody called Roger Price? Why did that pop in my head? Don't know. Hope he's not a porn star or something like that, because that's happened before. She can eat a lobster without any tools. Okay. I've never had lobster. I'm not a big seafood fan. I like fish, stuff like that. But, like lobster and prawns and stuff like that. Not a fan. Anyway, she's looking for him. And, actually, here's Melissa calling out. But it's not Melissa. It's not actually the actress that plays Melissa doing the voice. Apparently, it's Geoffrey Rush doing it. Going, help me, doing it that. And they've just made it sound a bit like Melissa. So it's like, I'm coming, Melissa. But then Roger, nearly said it again, didn't I? Stephen Price appears. There he is, all covered in blood. Then help me. He don't know what's happened. He came to, and he's all covered in blood and stuff, and he don't know what's going on. But she don't care. She shoots him, as we see. Because he keeps coming. She says, don't come forward or I'll shoot you. But why? But they do keep going, don't they? Oh, hang on, here we go. Roger Daltrey and Vincent Price, obviously, win Grace. It's not Googled, it just knows this. Roger Price was born on 6th of March 1918 in Charleston, West Virginia, USA. He was an actor and writer, known for Pete's Dragon, The Governor, and JJ, and Get Smart. Oh, right. There you go. I must have seen it somewhere. I must have seen it, probably when I watched Pete's Dragon when I was younger. I must have seen it somewhere. That horse vivisection reminds me of The Cell. Yes. That's another good one, is that, The Cell. When all the blades come down and then just separate it, and it's still alive, isn't it? Anyway, cool film is that. Let's have a drink. just remember we've got another film to do, haven't we? Bloody hell. We're nearly 2 hours in, haven't finished this yet. Oh, God. Anyway, it keeps coming towards it. She said, no, I'll shoot you. So she has a shot at him. There you go. She's not even bothered about the money anymore. There you go. Then she shoots at him and misses, and then just unloads into him. Thankfully, she doesn't shoot him in the head, as we'll see. But there we see, he's shooting him, and all blood's come flying out of his wounds. So she's killed Stephen Price. Hang on, where are we? Where to go? Sci-fi quest. What's? Hang on, where are we? What's he done? What's sci-fi quest done? I'm gonna have to look now. Sci-fi quest done something. What's he done? Or are you talking about something else? Oh dear. Oop, have I pressed something wrong there? All right, he gave you the double feature. All right, I see what you mean now. I thought something had just happened with Sci-Fi Quest. I thought he'd got like 1,000 subscribers suddenly or something like that, which would be amazing. But yes, he forced me to do this because he did a bloody super chat, didn't he? He didn't really. Anyway, so she's killed Stephen Price. So they leave him. So off they go. All right. Then the form of Evelyn comes back. There you go. She starts talking to him, saying no, she hates him. Oh my, yes. I'm going to clip this out. Where are we? There we go. Stephen, you poor clueless old geek. I'm going to clip that out, and that's just going to be. I'm just going to play that at the beginning of every video, because it's me. Oh dear. So she thinks he's dead. There you go. All it would have taken was a simple divorce and tearing up that prenup. But she says, the sight of him makes her want to puke. And then he comes out, he's not dead, and he grabs her by the throat. Says, is that a fat princess? Turns into Barbosa. Arr. So he grabs her by the throat and throws her about a bit. There you go, like that. Throws her across the room. Throw him across the room. And then he takes her. We see he's got a bulletproof vest with squibs and stuff on, or blood packs or whatever, for effect. I said, good job she didn't shoot him in the head, innit? But, or the arm, or whatever. Good job she shot. A placement, bodily placement must have been good. So here he is. So he's going to throttle her. So he's saying he's going to murder her now. Everybody thinks she's dead anyway. Everybody thinks he's dead. So, whatever, he's going to murder her. So he throws her about, throws her to the floor, like that. And he says he's going to murder her with the greatest of pleasure. And then you see there, we're back at the area that Pritchard's father tried to seal up, but it killed him somehow. He's going to throw her through there. There you go. And she goes through the cork board, whatever it is, into this little room with all this weird stuff in. And then we see, what's going on here? What's all this lot? It's like, I don't know. The closest thing I could describe it as is like Mother Shipton's cave. That's the thing. Not far from where I live, where there's this cave where there's all water, there's a lot of minerals in this water, and people put things, they hang things in it. Mother Shipton was supposed to be like a witch or something like that, in legend. And she lived in this cave in a town called Knaresborough. And people hang things like dolls, but all sorts of things. And then over time, the water that's coming down, it's got all these minerals in it, petrifies everything. It kind of just reminds me of that. But anyway, that's by the by. Yes, I'm disinclined to acquiesce to your request. Looked more solid than the wall that Snake jumped through on Monday. Yes, it did, didn't it? He didn't even need to use a machine gun. He could have just jumped through it, couldn't he? But anyway. Right, so they're in this weird room and things start to happen. I think we're hearing all this moaning and ghostly noises. Lair of the White Worm. That's a good film, is that? I like that, Lair of the White Worm. With a young Hugh Grant, a young Peter Capaldi, and others. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's a good film, is that? Weird, but good. With that snake vampires that spit venom. Weird, but anyway. Right, so she's lying there. We're hearing all this ghostly noises going on. And then this happens. Ooh, look, something's coming. And they did this. This is not CG. There's not much. There's some CG in this, but not a lot. And this isn't one of them. They did this with metal filings, the old metal filings trick. And what they did, they put some metal filings down, scattered it on the floor, covered it over with like white coloured dust or whatever, and did a magnet underneath it. And the filings, burst through the dust and looked cool like that, as though something's heading towards her. Anyway, she sees it and she says, Is this you? Is this something you've done, Stephen? And he says, no, get up, get out, run. So obviously he knows something's up now. And then the filings head towards the wall for some reason, because she's got up and run away. Then it turns into, I don't know, an effect. I don't know if it's CG or if it's just something else. But once it gets to the wall, it becomes an effect. And this is where the darkness comes out. Not, I believe in a thing called love. Not that darkness. The darkness at the heart of Hill House. Not just in... I've got a bloody name now. Not him, anyway. So we see it all comes out now. This isn't CG either. It's, like I said, it's done with smoke and like mirrored images and stuff like that. But they're supposed to be a representation of the evil. I think they're going for like a Lovecraftian theme. Damn, you beat me to the joke. Dear. And it grabs her. Hang on, let's see if we can get another look at it. They're going to show us. So he runs away. There we go. It goes out and grabs her. It's not showing us, is it? Never mind. And it pulls her inside. And basically sucks the life out of her. There it is. There you go. Then we see her. I think we see her face. There we go. She's all been eaten away. Again, don't think it's CGI. But if you notice, there's little people. Look, quite complex stuff going on in the background that they've inserted in. Like supposed to be the souls of all the people that the house has killed. That's and they're all trapped in the darkness of Hill House, or the house on Haunted Hill. Hill House is something else, isn't it? I truly think the only reason Stephen decided to kill Evelyn was because she legitimately tried to have him set up and killed. Yeah, probably. But it seemed like it was his plan all along, though, but with this bulletproof vest and the blood packs and stuff, so I don't know. I think we've just to make our own minds up, haven't we? Let's leave it ambiguous. Anyway. I'll just make sure we're still going. I haven't checked for a while. No messages on Rumble. Not even people trying to sell me Bitcoin. No. Even Archmage Frey's not making an appearance tonight. Anyway, there she is, melting away into the evil of the house on Haunted Hill. It was Agatha all along. Hey. Go on, off you go. There you go. So he goes running for it now, with the evil following him. And then he comes across. He bumps into a. I've gone too far now. He bumps into this little cabinet and it opens up. There we see there's all body parts inside. We've got to be careful here. There's all body parts inside. That was close, wasn't it? And we see there, we find out finally what happened to Melissa. It is Melissa, isn't it? I keep forgetting. Melissa don't sound right. Yes, it is Melissa, yeah. There you go. He's arrived. That mysterious man from Twitch. I just summon him and he appears. Just call him. Call on Archmage Frey. Like that. And he will cometh. No need to hurry, as you've hours still to go. Yes, I know. It's going to be a late night, isn't it? Thankfully, the second film is not as long. Not much in it, but it's not as long. Anyway, there we go. There's Melissa. There's Mrs. Sampras with her head stuck through the set. So there she is. So we learn what's happened to her. Oh, Miss Ma, he had to say. Why did he have to say that? I don't know, but he just did. Right, so he goes running off, and here we see the darkness coming. So it's coming after him. As you can see, look, the female form there. The film like naked ladies and stuff, and put them all, composited them all together, and stretched them and put dangly bits on and stuff, and smoke and all that to make this. Sometimes it looks cool, sometimes it looks a bit iffy, doesn't it? But anyway. So there she goes. Stephen, this don't look really good, does it? But it's fine. It does the job, I suppose. There you go. It wants Stephen. Obviously, it's not her talking. It's the evil, not evil in the evil. Right. So he's heading upstairs. This reminded me. I wonder if this is an homage, where it's like he's been from now. It's like he's being chased, and I thought, is this supposed to be like Evil Dead? Where Ash is being chased through the house or the shack, or the cabin. In it, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, he's running out and starts pounding on the door. And we see here. It starts. It tries the handle. That's it. Tries the handle, and the handle just falls off on his side. And he's pounding on the door. Let me out! Meanwhile, they're still trying to, force the shutters open. But then they hear him pounding on the door. Hang on, where are we? I could have made a Jackie Estacado. I have no idea what you're talking. Joke about the darkness, but that's a deep cut. Yes, it is. Estacado. Don't know. No idea. First game was very cool. I forgot what game I mentioned. Anyway. There we go. He's hammering on the door. And he says, price. And saying the price is dead. But anyway, he goes to see. He opens the door, just Pritchett in a minute. But we see Stephen Price. Now, does he throw himself into these slats here over the window? Obviously, it mustn't be to outside. It must be just somewhere inside. As we say, oh, for Pete's sake. There you go. Does the darkness throw it, knock him into it? Or does he throw himself into it to get out of its way? I'm not entirely sure. But just as Pritchett opens the door, it grabs him. And, for God's sake, there we go. It grabs him and pulls him in. And he becomes, there we go, see all the souls now there. Video game, The Darkness. All right. I might have played a demo of that. Yeah, I think I played a demo of that back in the day when it came out. When they used to put demo discs in stuff. I think it was the 360, I think. Yeah, I think I played the demo for that. I don't think I played the full game. Anyway. So there we see, I think that's supposed to be Pritchard's hand there. And it shows us again. There we go. We just see his hand disappearing. It's got Pritchard. And it must satisfy it because it's going away for some reason. I don't know why, but it just is. That must have satisfied it. Anyway, so he's fine. His price. He comes out, says, "Oh look, I'm not dead," basically, and then he goes up to them and says, "It's the house. It's alive. Pritchett was right." But now it's coming back. Look, it wants afters. It wants seconds. Yes, poor Pritchett. All he wanted was his goddamn cheque at the beginning, wasn't it? And me. But he kept putting it off, didn't he? If he'd just written his cheque, he'd have been out of there. But anyway. Anywho, there we go. Here it comes. So they go running for their lives. He's pulling off all the what is it? Bulletproof vest and stuff, and the blood packs, and pulling all them out. You're dead and whatever. Basically, what's right? The house is alive. So it's saying now, how can we? I think it says, how can we get out? Or there must be something. Some way for him to get out, and he decides to go to the attic. I can't remember why he decides to go to the attic, but he does. So he heads in that direction. Meanwhile, they're going to get chased now by the darkness. And then you see it goes into the floor. And then, notice she's got this black, grey, whatever you want to call it, jacket on. She'll not have that on in a minute. But they're going to go running because it's going to come through the floor. Look, there we go. It's coming through the floor. It's a cork floor, apparently, and they just like put whatever squibs underneath, just blew it up. As they're running away from it, but looks pretty effective. There you go, following them down. Black jacket, notice. But then next time you see her, is it this one? Nope, not that one. No, there's a cutaway to this. What happened? There's a deleted scene. When they were running there with the floor exploding behind them, they had a scene where there was something that Eddie jumped up and grabbed onto something, and he grabbed onto Sarah as the floor blew up beneath them, but he couldn't hold on to her for whatever reason. Maybe a jacket came off then or something, I don't know. And she fell down through the floor into another room, and all the like zombified bodies came up and tried to get her, but she escaped. And they've cut that bit out, which is why in the next scene you see she ain't got a jacket on. But they've cut that bit out. Anyway, Price is heading up to the attic because there's worked out this is where all the gears and cogs and stuff are. But I think in the sequel they've moved all this into the basement. I think, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so he's going to try and work that out. He's trying to work the thing, but he can't turn it. So hang on. So he goes and gets a big pipe from over there, and he gives it a whack, and just breaks the handle off. He says, "Oh, that's typical." There you go, terrific. And then he throws this big pipe that he got, this big metal pipe. Just throws it. There we go. And apparently, in real life, he actually did this in several takes. Apparently, according to William Malone. There we go. He actually did that. He actually threw the pipe, and he actually hit this. I don't know what they call them. It's like a big handle thing, isn't it? I don't know what they call them. He actually hit that every time. You think that'd be I don't know. Did they have several cameras set up or something? I don't know. But you think this would be a separate shot, wouldn't you? Done at a different time. But William Malone said he hit it every time when he threw that pipe. Or maybe they just had him do it off screen. Maybe he wanted to do it. I don't know. But he hit it every time. And there you go, sets that off and starts opening up at least one of the shutters, as we see. There we go. He's watching one of the shutters open up. But I don't think all the other shutters in the house open. Just this one, I think. And there you go. It says, so much for a PhD in engineering. He just threw a pipe and it worked. There we go. So they've arrived here. No, he's not got a jacket on anymore. Oh, aye, and then they hear the voice of Stephen Price. Remember, they're on the ground floor. And we see how how tall the thing is, but they hear his voice, "I've found a way out." And they look up and he's looking down at them. It's obviously an insert. They go, what? Where? There you go, looking down. Up here. I'm in the attic. Oh, eh? Doesn't make a lick of sense. They obviously thought, well, but they need to know where he is and where to go, so we'll just show him. We'll just film this little bit where I'm looking down. Anyway, so they're heading up. They go. And here we go. The darkness follows, and this is a CG bit. Because this, I thought it was supposed to be Famke Janssen, but apparently that is supposed to be Melissa. I thought it was Famke Janssen. By looking at her, obviously not what she says, it identifies her as Melissa. She's saying Sarah. I think it's Sarah Jennifer. I don't know what she says. She says, you're supposed to come and see my show. Because, she wanted to be a celebrity again, didn't she? But I thought it was Famke Janssen. But that's CG. There you go. You have to stay for my show. But she knows her name, look, Sarah. So obviously that shows that it's not really her. Maybe, I don't know. Right, so up in the attic. Look, just that one. There's just that one shutter that's opened. So they get up there. Here comes the darkness seeping through the woodwork. So there comes emerging with its. They've done that's the mirror image. They thought it made a good effect, and it's not an exact mirror image. They've tweaked it, so it's not exact, but gives that effect. And curiously enough, I've seen people doing this mirror image. I don't know what you call it, therapy or whatever. I don't know what you call it. Mirror image device. With that, that new painting of King Charles. I keep calling him Prince Charles, but it's not Prince anymore. It's King Charles. New painting of King Charles, but it's all red behind. Looks like the fires of hell behind him. People have been doing mirror images of that, like mirroring it down the middle, and it looks like Baphomet or something like that. Oddly enough, Baphomet is in the sequel to this. Maybe it's the universe is all connected. Has Dabney Coleman passed away? And, I know who it is, but I'm trying to think what I've seen him in. I can see his face, but I'm trying to think what I've seen him in now. I've blanked, but I can see his face. I know who he is. Yes, I know what you mean. He passed away, hasn't he? He won't have been young though, would he? Let me check. Yes, that's the fella. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. News, because it's not showing it on thing. 92. Oh, 95. Yes, he was in 95. I've seen him in other things as well. 92. I hope I live to be 92. Tootsie as well. Boardwalk Empire. War Games. Etc. Right. Rest in peace, Dabney Coleman. Yes, 92. Right, where were we? The darkness is coming together. Right, so we see that it's going for the counterweights or whatever for the shutters. It's going to go and break the cord because it's just rope. It's not cable. It's just rope, I think. So it's going to go and break it. Looks just rope. So she's got to get out as both of them have. They've got to get out of Eddie and Sarah. But Price pushes Sarah. That looks a bit iffy, doesn't it? That looked a bit weird, didn't it? Price pushes Sarah out of the way of the darkness. All I can think of is I believe in a thing called love. And it gets him. There you go. It pulls him in. Hang on. There you go. He's being got. So he's in there now. But remember, his name was on the list. Don't forget. Or his ancestor was. But anyway. Oh, there you go. Oh, and there you go. It's desiccated him. And then for some reason, loads of wind comes through the opening and destroys him for some reason. As we'll see, look, it just turns into thingy. But if you notice, that's why I'm going to frame at a time. We see an envelope appear magically somewhere. Never seen it. In a minute. There it is. This little envelope appears there and flutters away. because he must have had it in his pocket all this time. It's the envelope with the $5 million checks in. Dear. So that flutters away. So he's like, oh no. So it's still trying to break the rope, by the way. So she's got to get to the shutter now. When they're ready, get to it. Right. Anyway, right. So he shoves her out. There's Eddie, but before Eddie can get, you can see how high up they are. All the rock sea crashing against the rocks far below. But there you go. It's breaking the rope, breaks the rope, and the shutter comes down before Eddie can get out. It's like, oh no, trapped in there, and evil laughing, because it thinks it's won. And then he says, I've got nothing to do with this. I'm adopted. They go, no one gets out of here alive. Oh, and then there's Blackburn says, next patient. There we see the naked ladies. Take your rightful place with the others. And he says, I've nothing to do with this. There we go. I'm adopted. And I'd be thinking, I don't think the darkness cares, really. He just wants anybody, I think, really. But then this film turns into The Frighteners. There we go. Because Pritchett comes back in ghost form and pulls the counter lever back up. So Michael J. Fox must be knocking about somewhere as well. There you go. So he pulls that, and so Eddie can get out. There we go. She pulls him out. She saves him because girl boss time. Woke, and he gets out just in time, and the shutter goes down, and the darkness has failed. So it's shrieking. So it's got to go slinking back into the bowels of the house on Haunted Hill. I don't know what's happened to the ghost of Pritchett. Must just be knocking about, like all the other ghosts are still knocking about, I suppose. But maybe his soul is in the darkness. There's the ghosts, and there's the evil heart of the house, isn't there, I suppose? The core. Anyway, so there we see that. The house has calmed down now, I suppose, because the sun's up, but don't see the shutters opening. And then they find the envelope with the 5 checks in for $1 million each. There we go. And what's this? For those who survive the night. And they open it up, and there we go. Stephen Price, spelt with a V again. Only just. Bloody hell. Cashier's check. Can you do that? I've never. Only time I've written a check, I've actually written it out to a person, to a name, pay so and so, £2.50 or whatever, because I'm not rich. Can you just put cash, pay cash, and sign it, and anybody can do it? I don't know. Anywho, got to head out. Have a great weekend. Always watch where you're walking. Yes, don't want to take a bad fall. No, and you too. And come October, go easy on the Bambies, poor things. But thanks for watching, Josh, and hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you around. See you around. Oh, yeah, sorry, Rorschach. Yeah, it's a Rorschach thing, isn't it? Yeah. The mirror image. Anywho, where were we? There's 5. Don't know why there's 5. There's only 4 of them. But anyway, there's 5 checks. So the $2.5 million richer each. Oh yes, you can do it to cash, but neither have I. And I likely never will. Oh, man me. Or does it have to be a cashier's check? Is that a different thing? I don't know. I'm not up on these, modern or old-fashioned monetary things, financial things. But anyway. So, there they are. They're on the top of Hill House, and there they are. Hang on, where are we? So they've got all that money now. They're all laughing, even though everybody's dead, apart from them two. But they don't care, because they're, evil. They're the evil ones, really. And then we pan out in not a very good composite image. And they go, that was one kick-ass party that everybody died in. And then she says, how are we going to get down from here? Hang on. There you go. That was one. Oh, one more thing. How do we get down from here? And they're actually I think in the original script, I don't know if they filmed it, I can't remember what he said, but in the original script it was supposed to end with them sort of like being rescued, and recounting their tale to somebody, maybe Peter Graves, I don't know, I can't remember, but they were supposed to end where, we saw them safe and sound back on the ground or whatever, back in normal life. But they decided not to go with that. They just wanted to leave it where they were up there. Obviously, they get down because she's in the sequel, but she doesn't seem to be $2.5 million richer in the sequel. Not from her apartment that we see anyway. But never mind. And anyway, that's it. That's the end. There we go. That's the end of House on Haunted Hill. There we go. And we listen to Sweet Dreams again by Marilyn Manson. Sweet dreams are made of these. I could just play the, Eurythmics version. Don't know, but we haven't done yet, have we? There's an end credit scene, isn't there? Just remembered. There you go. Stephen Price with a PH. Unbelievable. But let's skip it forward to the end. It's not much of an end scene. I don't know. When I watched it, I was thinking, is this their homage to The Shining? I don't know, but we're nearly there. We're nearly there. House on Haunted Hill. Clicking like eerie music. We're supposed to be seeing like old black and white footage. There we go. And we see the crazy people from the asylum, and they're basically chopping up or operating on, as we see, Stephen Price and Evelyn Price. If it shows us, it shows them in a minute. There we go. They are. There they are. And that, I was thinking, is this like a reference to the end of The Shining, where we see Jack Nicholson, his photo, from the 4th of July ball or whatever it was, I can't remember it was. At the Overlook Hotel in the 1920s or whatever. Is this their reference to that? Were Stephen Price and Evelyn Price there all along? Or is this supposed to be their ancestors? Is this... But it didn't look like them in the photos that we saw earlier, did we? But I think that's what it is. It's just a little end scene to make you wonder. What have I done? There we go. But that's it. That's the end. Then it just goes to the end. Fiend. Clanking. There you go. Done. And so that's the end of... I'll remove that. That's the end of House on Haunted Hill. Anyway, jump forward 8 years to 2007, and they did a sequel. I can get rid of that now. Let's get the sequel ready. Where are you? Spladosh. Right. They did a sequel. Right, so let's get the information about the sequel. Called Return to House on Haunted Hill, not Return to the House on Haunted Hill. I still don't understand why they don't... Obviously, they just didn't want the in the title, did they? It's called it Return to the House on the Haunted Hill. That's what they should have called it. Like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Anyway. Directed by Victor Garcia. That name rings a bell, and I can't remember where from, unless I'm thinking of Victor Salva. Let's have a look. See what else he's done. Did 30 Days of Night Blood Trails, which I've got, but I've not seen. I forgot to watch it. Hellraiser Revelations, which I've not seen. No, I've not seen any of the films he's done. I've not seen Mirrors 2 either. I've seen Mirrors, I've not seen Mirrors 2. Arctic Predator 2010, that sounds interesting. Is it like a rip-off of Predator, or is it just like about polar bears? I don't know, but anyway. Right, so directed by Victor Garcia, starring people I've never heard of, Amanda Rigetti, Serena Vincent, who makes an impression in this film, to me anyway, Eric Palladino, Tom Riley, actually no, there is somebody I do know, Andrew Lee Potts. Whatever happened to him? He was everywhere for a few years around this time. But and the only person to come back from the first film is Jeffrey Combs, who comes back as Dr. Vandercut. It doesn't say what the budget was, so I don't know. I imagine it wasn't very much. And it got released straight to DVD. So, let's get on with this. Which one is Revelation? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Hellraiser films, to be completely honest. I've seen the first 3, and I started watching the latest one. Was it that one that popped up on Netflix or somewhere like that? And I didn't like it. I turned it off. It got on my nerves. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Hellraiser films. I think Clive Barker's overrated, to be honest. I'm not a fan of Nightbreed either. I think that's an overrated film. Just one of those things. Maybe it's just a personal preference. Anywho, shrink myself down. We'll get on with this one. I didn't read the synopsis, did I, for the first one? Shall we see what the synopsis for this one says? See if it's as funny as the Escape from New York one was. Where are we? Storyline. Several years after Sarah and Eddie escaped, don't even mention Eddie in this, I don't think, escaped the former asylum and its inmates, Ariel, Sarah's sister, visits the house looking for answers and the truth behind her sister's insane claims about what happened inside it. Oh, that's fair enough, it's what happens. Ariel. She does some swimming as well in this. I was thinking, swim down for him, Ariel. You're a mermaid. His blood trail's the one about the wife. I can't remember. I don't, because I've not seen it. I think I started watching it once, but I didn't get very far into it. So I can't remember. 30 Days of Night. You're on about. I like the concept of Hellraiser more than the execution. Yeah. I like Pinhead and all that, and the Cenobites and stuff. It's just, I don't know, it's just the box and all that, and with the chains coming out of it, and I like the imagery and stuff like that. But I think maybe there's just something about the way it was all put together. It didn't click with me. So anyway, right, off we go. Let me just full screen this with for Return to House. I'm going to say it with the Return to the House on the Haunted the Hill. Off we go. Right, so are you going to start? When you're ready. You're going to start. There we go. Off it comes. Off it goes. Warner Brothers. The old Dark Castle. See, they're still going. Still going to Dark Castle. They're still going to this day. I'm snuffling. I've got rid of my cold, but I've started snuffling. Hellraiser Bloodlines was good. But that was the one with Dax in it, Terry Farrell, where it ended with the building had been turned into a puzzle box thing. That's that one, isn't it, I think? As I said, I'm not a huge fan, so I've only seen them once. I think I've seen the first Hellraiser maybe a couple of times, but the others I'm not a fan. But anyway, right, so off we go. Dark Castle Home Entertainment production. We get some credits. It's like a bit of a recap in the credits about what's happened. There you go. Stuff's gone on at the Vannacut Asylum. There you go. There's imagery of the nutters taking over. That's all I'm going to say it. I'm already in trouble with YouTube. Well, the YouTube audience. If you go to my Doctor Who video from yesterday, whenever it was, I should just ignore them. But I don't know. People like to have their say, don't they? So I just reply to them. Anyway. And here we see this is the main thing at the heart of this film, the Baphomet statue. So this is what's causing all the trouble. Space. Oh. Did they go into space? Oh, is that blood? Oh, right. Which was the one with the building at the end? With Jadzia Dax in it. Terry Farrell. I can't remember. Anyway. Right. We're still seeing more gruesome stuff. And there's the lockdown, blah, 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 blah. Right, so we begin. We're in Ariel's house. Not the Little Mermaid. A different Ariel. By the way, I looked up Ariel, because I was thinking, is that the name of an angel? Because I thought, it ends in EL. A lot of names that end in EL are generally from biblical angelic names. Even Michael and Gabriel and all that, XL is another word for God, isn't it? And it is Ariel. Sometimes Uriel, but sometimes Ariel is one of the angels. But it's also a demon. So, who knows? Terrifal was in 3. Yeah, I thought that was. I thought Bloodlines was the 3rd one. Is it not? Oh, right, fair enough. Whatever. I like to reply to mean people with nice comments or ignore. Yeah. Dax is in Hellraiser 3. Yeah. As I said, I thought that was Bloodlines. I thought it had another title. I thought Hellraiser 3 Bloodlines or whatever. I don't know. As I said, I'm not a fan. Right. We're in Ariel's apartment. Do we see? It's 5 a.m. Hang on. For some reason, it's showing us the apartment. Maybe they rented it and they thought we're going to get us money's worth out of this. It's 4:59 a.m., I presume. And it goes over and the alarm goes off. But you saw she wasn't in bed. So maybe she fell asleep in the bath or something. I don't know. But she comes out, turns off the alarm. She's already drying herself. So maybe she's a drunkard and she fell asleep in the bath. I've done that before. Back in the day. Bloodline was 4. All right. 3 is Hell on Earth. All right. So I've not seen Bloodline then. Not seen that one. Right. Well, the Hell on Earth, the one with the CD Cenobite. I don't know. I don't care anyway. It's Hellraiser. We're doing Return to House on Haunted Hill. So she's drying herself off. There we go. And we learn she's a high-powered businesswoman with a magazine, in charge of some magazine. And then we see Sarah's been calling her because she's fallen out with Sarah for some reason. I think she thinks Sarah's crazy because of all her stories about what went on in the House on Haunted Hill. Then she says, how many voicemails do I have to leave before you call back? And says, lots. I'm not going to talk to you. Anyway, she's off to work. And there we go. She works in LA. So there we go. XTD. That's the name of her magazine. Sorry. They do like photo shoots and interviews and stuff like that. Yes, it was with the CD dude. Yeah. There you go. She talks to people like Pearl Jam and stuff like that. And apparently she fancies a photographer who's a main character in the film, who we're going to meet shortly. So she's going to go off to this photo shoot to him. And there we go, here at the photo shoot. There we go. That's him. Don't ask me who plays him. No idea. Oh, I can get rid of some of these now, can't I? Right. Oh, press the wrong button. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. Never mind. Cast. Now then. Tom Riley is Paul. He's an English actor. And also we've got Andrew Lee Potts, who's also English. So we've got a couple of English actors playing Americans for some reason. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was filmed in England. I don't know. Another English, Stephen Pacey, plays Dr. Richard Hammer. That's 3 English actors. That's weird, isn't it? 3 English actors. Another one, Andrew Pleavin. Yes, another English actor as well. I wonder if it was filmed in England. Production, does it say? No, it don't say. Maybe they were just in America at the time and got the job. No idea. Well, there's supposed to be a sequel to this, apparently. A 3rd instalment in the series had been planned, but poor DVD sales for Return to House on Haunted Hill led Dark Castle to cancel these plans in October 2010. So, a waste of time buying that, then, wasn't it? Anywho, apparently y'all work cheaper than Americans. Yeah, probably. Just work for cups of tea and rich tea biscuits. Right, so she's gone to see Paul because they're going to fall in love. That were close, wasn't it? That were close. I mean, I've got bigger boobs than her, but but there's somebody coming up. You know what I'm like. But anyway. Right, so they're having a nice little meeting and all that stuff. So we learn that they're into each other. Right, so where are we at now? Oh, we're at some academic place. That's where we're meeting Dr. Hammer. There he is. And he's looking for the idol of Baphomet. So he's doing a lecture about it. Looks like a vampire there, doesn't he? He's looking for the idol of Baphomet, and he's travelled all over the world looking for it. But now he believes it is in the house on Haunted Hill. I think he even mentions Hill House at one point, but obviously it's not called that. That's a different thing, isn't it? That's Shirley Jackson. Anyway. But he talks about the Templars and how they worship Baphomet and all that, and that was part of their downfall and blah blah blah. So he talks about all that. That's Serena Vincent. Whew. If I were to cast back in 2007, if it were up to me to recast Star Trek Next Generation, she'd be my Deanna Troi. But anyway, right. So apparently he's got a book as well. He's written a book about it. More slander of the Templars. Yeah. Well, it's because too many people owed them money, didn't they? And that's the trouble. They let out too much money, and people didn't want to pay them back. Anyways, written a book about it. So he says after that shameless plug, thank you, and he wants people to come and sign the books for him and all that stuff. So. Then we see him signing his books, big thick tome. Does it say what it's called? I want to see if I can read it. Just bear with me. I can't read. Medieval. That's a Medieval Macabre, The Quest for Baphomet. All right, that's the name of his book. Right, so signing that. And here she is Serene. She plays, I can't remember. I think Michelle her name is. Yes, Michelle her name is. She plays Michelle. And apparently she's one of his students. There goes. What does a girl have to do to get her book signed? And we find out almost immediately. Grunting and panting. You can imagine what's going on. And then we see he's there hugging her. So they're not hiding it, are they? Maybe she's not his student. No, she is, because she says... she's going to graduate or something like that. So she must be, maybe she's not his student, but maybe she's a student at the university or whatever. But anyway, yes, sheesh. A woman teacher in Britain, on the news today, has been found guilty or whatever. I don't know if she's gone to prison or she's going to get sentenced or whatever for having sex with two of her students. But anyway... But there he is, bagging away. Well, they're about to. He's still got his pants on, so maybe they're about to. And there we go. But Kyle comes in, who is him, Andrew Lee Potts, who you may know from... I forgot what it was called. A thing with dinosaurs in. What were it called now? I'm going to have to bloody look it up. Andrew Lee Potts. Hey, what did they call it? Primeval. That was it. It was in a series called a British thing called Primeval. Came out around the same time-ish as when Doctor Who, restarted, mid-2000s. And it was quite popular with Primeval. Oh, he's a Yorkshireman. I didn't know. Born and raised in Bradford, West Yorkshire. Not far from me. So there we go. So that's what he's most famous for. Right, okay, cool. Right. I love Primeval. I started watching it, and it was alright. I forgot about Primeval. It had with blonde hair in it that were, super fit. That was a singer. She was in a singer. She was a singer in a band, wasn't she? Or a pop group. Anyways, he's interrupted them. There we go. Because they've learned something about Sarah Wolf. He knows Sarah because he wanted to get into Hill House, and he'd been in contact with Sarah because she wanted to basically sort it out once and for all. But then we cut to Ariel, and her mum's phoning her. Sarah's killed herself. Right. So Paul decides to go with Ariel. There we go. Paul decides to say she's all sad. Oh no, we're ignoring her, and I thought she was crazy, and now she's dead. This is why you should never ignore your relatives. Always make up with them, because you never know what's going to happen. But anyway, So it says he'll go with her because she's got to go and check Sarah's apartment for some reason, but she has. But this doesn't like an apartment that was bought with $2.5 million worth of money, does it? Did she just give it away, or did they just not bother with the checks? Did they just, don't know, or maybe they bounced? I don't know. But she goes in here anyway. It says the number on the doors there's number 6, and we see an address later on from Sarah, and it doesn't say. I'm sure it doesn't say flat 6 or whatever, apartment 6. But anyway, so she goes in here, right, and we see it's not very. It's like my house, basically. It was like my house. They're very untidy. I'm having a proper clean tomorrow. Tomorrow and Sunday, I'm having a proper clean round the house. Finally. But anyway. So she's got all these newspaper clippings and stuff about the house on Haunted Hill. There we go. Dozens die in hospital by Sarah Johnson. No relation as far as I know. I wonder if I'm not going to read it all. But obviously, Sarah was obsessed with it. Obsessed with what... perhaps she spent it trying to figure out the house. She must have done. She could have got herself a nice house to do it in, though. Anyway. Oh, and then she looks around and she sees the ghost of Sarah looking at her. And it looks nothing like Ali Larter, does it? But anyway. Looks more like bloody, what's her face from The Ring, doesn't it? Or The Grudge. Anyway, she sees her. And she gets up. Oh, we see her like a gunshot go off. There you go. And she gets up. Like blood on the wall. She gets up and there's half her head's missing. And then she says to her, there you go, you must help them, in demonic voice. But it's wearing the same outfit. Yes, the red, yes, she had the red jumper and stuff on, didn't she? So she hadn't even bought new clothes. Anyway. And then Paul interrupts, and obviously he didn't see anything. He says, I've just seen Sarah. Oh, I don't think he says that. There we see. That's obviously where Sarah took her own life. She used a hell of a gun. Well, we learn, not too far from now, so it's not spoilers. She didn't kill herself. She was murdered. In the middle of a meal, by the looks of it, with a glass of red wine. I'm not sure they're eating. I know. She was murdered, as Holmes would say, by the main bad guy in the film. Because we have bad guys in this film. Anywho. Then Dr. Hammer appears. There he is. It's where we learn that, she wanted to go back to the house on Haunted Hill she thought that the statue, the idol of Baphomet, were the ghosts, the spirits and our souls or whatever trapped there because of the idol, the Baphomet idol. So she wanted to go and find that and take it away and free all the spirits. Whew, crikey. Cultists from the Ninth Gate. Is that the Johnny Depp one? I didn't like that. But anyway. So there we go. So that's where we learn that. There you go. The Baphomet idol. So she was going to go, but Ariel's obviously wary of it because she says she hated that place and she'd never go back. But obviously she was obsessed with it because there's all the newspaper cuttings in there. So. But anyway. So they don't want anything more to do with it. Then he says Sarah thought she was being followed. This is where we get a clue that maybe it was murder. So anyway, he takes Sarah home in his snazzy car. Don't ask me what sort it is. I don't know. And then they have a little kiss because they're into each other now. Come on, get on with it. There they're kissing because they're into each other, now in love. So she goes home and he's going to go home and probably have a cold shower. Yes, Johnny Depp. I like the movie, but definitely got uncomfortable. I can't remember a lot about it. Probably why I didn't like it. Anyway, so she's stripping off and showing off her assets. Oh, wow, this is the bit with we see the, there we go. Sarah Wolf, 751 Northwest Drive, California. No, they said bloody flat 6 or apartment 6, didn't it? Or maybe that one. No, it was though, wasn't it? Because she was sat, did the telly and things, and she was eating and having meals. Stupid film. Turn it off. Anyway, so she got a package. It's a bit like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Sarah has sent her, because we learned that Sarah had Vannekert's diary, or journal, innit? They call them journals, don't they? She's got that, so there it is. So she sent it to Ariel, so the Nazis wouldn't get it. I mean, maybe she should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. Should have had a stroke. Anyway. Right, so anyway, there's a knock at the door. She thinks it's Paul coming back. But then she hears his voice. She goes to the door. She says, "No, Sarah, don't answer the door." And then the baddies come in. She drops the book. There you go. The baddies come in and with guns and things like that. And this is the main baddie. Desmond Niles, played by Eric Palladino. Who, again, I've seen him in things, and I can't think what. Don't know if I've seen him in. He's been in a lot of stuff, ER and all that, but I've seen him in something else. But I can't think what. So I'm going to look him up. I don't care. We could be here all bloody night. Oh, U571, that might be where I recognise him from. What else? Oh, he was in Return to House on Haunted Hill, wasn't he? Ah! Oh, dear. I'm just looking down the list, see if there's anything that jumps out at me. It might be U571 I recognise him from. Of course, I've seen that. Oh, maybe Watchmen, because I watched that series, even though it wasn't very good. I did. Oh, he's been in Arrow as well, so it might be that as well. Might recognise him from any of those things. Right. Where were we? Dead and Breakfast. Never heard of that. Also, one of the Law and Order. He's been in loads of stuff. Anyways, the main baddie in this, Desmond Niles, which kind of reminded me of Assassin's Creed, because that was Desmond Miles, wasn't it? But no, it's not that. So he wants the journal as well. He wants to go in and find the Baphomet idol, but he's doing it for money. He's like the... if Dr. Hammer is Indiana Jones, he's the... I forgot his bloody name now. Balosh. Oh. What's he called now? Him, anyway. From Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's him. He's in it for the money. He's getting $5 million. What is it, $5 million? Definitely find and watch Dead and Breakfast. It's Oz Perkins' first movie. I'll see if I can find it. But anyway, so that's what he's wanting that for. And he's going to take Ariel to the house on Haunted Hill because she might know something about, the house. So why? We learned that he murdered, or he had his goons murder Sarah. But if he wanted to get in the house and learn, why don't he just kidnap Sarah and force her to? But never mind. Never mind. He's going to take Ariel instead. So she has a go at him. Look, you murdered my sister. And there's a bit of a kerfuffle. Then he gives Ariel a slap. That's how you treat your women. Didn't really. Right, so they're going to go. Oh, there you go. I urged your sister to cooperate, but she chose to be a bitch, so he shot her. This is another one of his goons. I think Kalita Rainford as Haru. I think that's her. Yeah, it is. So there we go. That's her. Who is gay? So this is before wokeness came in. It's from 2007. So, but anyway, So we've got a scene later on they're going to have to be careful with, with me skipping. Anyway, so off they're going to go to the house on Haunted Hill. Right, so, and he says, don't behave. If you don't behave, I'll kill you. But, he's talking about authorities would fall for yet another suicide. Anyway, so off they go to the house on Haunted Hill. There we go. Looks a little bit different, doesn't it, to what was on the first film, but never mind. Probably more CG in this film, I should imagine, at least. Right, but we're not seeing them first. We're seeing, I think, we're seeing Dr. Hammer, Michelle, and Kyle. They've arrived because they're going to go in and look for the Baphomet statue. You forgot a couple that, the house on the Haunted Hill. Anyway, by the way, these two are always jibing at one another, probably because he fancies her, but, who wouldn't? But, she makes out he's a man baby, he makes out she's an idiot. We learn she's a bad person, but what a way to go. Right, anyway, and speaking of, remember the refrigerator in the first film that we saw briefly? Michelle goes out by refrigerator, but we'll get there. Right, so they're going in the middle of the night. Right, so in they go. As I said, they've kept the same door. The big shard of glass is not in the table anymore. There's still bits of glass on the floor, look, remember when it broke, but the big shard is not there for some reason. Maybe they took it out. I didn't check in the original film, in the first film, should I say, if they took it out, but if it were there all through the film, I never noticed. Anyway, right, so... he's asking, somebody asks him, what would Vannecutt be doing with this Baphomet statue? And he says, he was a big art collector, and he went all over the world collecting knickknacks and stuff. Right, and that's where she's having a dig at him about his action figures. She could dig at me any day of the week. Say, yep, got lots of action figures. Do you want to come back and look at them? And my Star Trek bed sheets. And I'm not kidding. Anyway, so they arrive. The bad guys arrive now with Ariel and Paul. But they're inside. They're going to use GPR. I need to say GPS then. Ground penetrating radar. But not the sort that you fire a gun into the ground. Just the sort that you wave around. So they're going to do that to look for hollow spaces. So he waves it up at Michelle's head and says, oh, look, it works. Making out she's nothing in her head. Right, they're going to go in. Going to take... he says, why would I help the man who killed my sister? And he says, well, if you don't help me, I'll kill Paul. So, forcing... I'll have my man kill Paul, because they're going to leave Paul and one of his henchmen outside. Right, so that's what they're going to do. So they go in, Paul and the henchmen stay outside. Anyway, they're looking round, and then suddenly all the lights come on, and then they hear commotion upstairs, and they think, oh, somebody's here. So they go and check it out. And then we learn that Desmond Niles and Dr. Hammer have history. He used to be his student, but now he's his competitor. So there we go. Wow, sounds like good luck for Paul. Not really, because they end up in the house, obviously. Oh dear. And they says, who's your buyer? Because we learn he's getting 5 million if he finds the Baphomet statue. Says Maxwell, Rupert, obviously Robert Maxwell. Well, he's still alive in 2007. I don't know, I'm going to have to check that. I thought he died before that. Yes, died in 1991. Yes, I thought he died a long time before that. When did they write this script? Robert Maxwell, Rupert Murdoch. That's what we'll be on about, won't he? Not Princess. Princess making noises. So there we go. Oh. Then we learn that, it's asking, how did you get all your information and stuff? Behave. And this is where we learn that Michelle is in with the bad guy. She's been, she's his squeeze. She's the squeeze of Desmond Niles. There we go. There you go. She says, I'm going to graduate. Am I going to, what is it? What does she say? I forgot. Why? Teach a bunch of freshmen the difference between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, or sit on a yacht working on my tan. So, there we go. She's a bad girl. Anyway. And then Ariel's trying to sneak her way out, as though when people think they're all distracted, but then I forgot her name again already. Haru. Cuts her off at the pass and says, "You're not leaving without a kiss." So I thought, right, they're making out that she's gay, and they confirm it later on. There you go. Right, right, is lockdown happening now, or is that something else? They're all eyeing each other up anyway. Yes, they're gonna go. No, lockdown isn't happening yet. That happens later. I've just remembered. They have to go to the main control room in the first. In the first film, we found out there was no main control room, didn't we? Because they went looking for it, and they ended up saying in the film there is no main control room. Where Schechter was sitting, I think, was just a room where he'd set up his monitors and his equipment, but there was no main control room for the house. But apparently now there is. Because they're going down to it in the basement. He did it up in the attic, didn't he, in thingy. But anyway, so he's looking at maps and stuff. Mansions with their own mental wards. Right, so they find all this cogs and stuff and all that. It says just getting a big iron bar or whatever and just shoving it through one of the ear, just to so they can't move. They decide to shoot them with their machine guns. Because, that always works, doesn't it? But, so there we go. So they've stopped them working. They haven't. They haven't. Anyway. So, right, so then we cut to Desmond's checking this map, and he's looking confused. And Hammer, does he have a bloody first name? I can't remember his first name. It's Richard Hammer. I'll call him Richard. Richard says, you want me to have a look? I might be able to work it out. And so he hands it to him, but it's just a ruse. Oh, there we go. It's just a ruse. Because he's already done it. And he punches him. He punches Richard, So I said, no, I don't want your help. Anybody else want to take a look? Anyway, so there you go. Vannegut hid the idol in a secret chamber deep in the basement. Dick Hammer, oh my. Behave. What you up to, princess? You want to go out? I'll just go let the cat out. She's being good tonight, apart from now, but I'll just go let her out. Bear with me. Now then, where were we? She's gone out. Oh dear. Anyway, so they have to go in a secret chamber called the Well of Souls. Maybe it is, I don't know, I'm just saying that. And then Andrew Lee Potts, Kyle, decides to interject, and I forgot what he says. There. Because they're all going to split up and look for this, search for clues. So they're all going to split up and look for this secret chamber, and he's saying, you're not serious, are you? That's how it all ends up going wrong, because they're in a haunted house. But obviously, the bad guys don't believe in ghosts and all that. So off they go, splitting up. Don't ask me the names of all the bad guys, the henchmen. I can't remember. We've got one called Boz, one called Samuel. I don't know which is which. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. And one called Warren, I think. That's him. That's Warren, I think. And I think Boz is the one. He's got an English accent in this. So actually, the other one as well, the one called Samuel, he's an English actor as well. So yeah, must have got all these henchmen from England, or most of them. Anyway, this is Warren. He's looking. Oh, there you go. There you go. I worked it out. He's using GPS on water. Does it work? I don't know. They're all using not GPS, GPR. Samuel, he's an angel. Yes, he must be because his name ends in L. Probably from Samael or something. There's a demons called that, isn't there? I've seen Hellboy. Anyway, they're all looking and not finding things. Oh, and then Kyle recognises I think this is Boz. And he says, "You're a UFC fighter." And I tell him, there you go. Notorious Norris Boz. UFC heavyweight champ. And then he says, "You hit like a girl." There you go. You fight like a girl. And then just walks off. Hang on. Yeah, just walks off, putting his finger up to him. And I thought, he's a henchman with a gun. What you been an idiot for? He could just kill you. But he just says, oh, whatever. But then as he walks away, we see a nurse in the background going with her head for some reason. And then disappear. Anyway, yeah, so he's obviously not talking to Michelle anymore because he says, "I loved you," and all that. But obviously, I think it was more lust than love. For obvious reasons. But anyway, I loved you, Michelle. But anyway, so their relationship's not going well. Meanwhile, Warren's found something on this wall, and he thinks, "Oh, he may have found the secret chamber," and he may very well have. I don't know. So he chips away a hole in the wall, and we all know what's going to happen, don't we? Someone's going to get him, innit? And it does, obviously, because he looks in. We hear growling, and then he's on the radio to I forgot his bloody name now, Desmond. But as he's doing that, a hand appears, well, not really a ghostly hand, but a palish hand with veins, varicose veins, appears and grabs Warren by the guts, basically pulls his guts out while he's alive. And also when the ghost touched you, you get these like flashback images, a bit like, kind of reminds me of that game Until Dawn where you find those totems and it gives you like a little flashback image of something that's happened in the past. We get a lot of these in this, like that. So you get that. So it's showing him summit, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to get killed now when he gets his guts ripped out. So it showed him that these ghosts here were bricked up by Vannacut. He's not the heir of Slytherin. No, he's not. So they got bricked up then. That's where they died. But he's getting his guts ripped out. There we go. Nice and gruesome. Yeah, that's what we want to see, innit? So, and then he gets dragged in. Hang on, there we go. Broken in half, dragged in. Yeah, cracking and squishing. That's what we want, innit? So that's the end of Warren. So that's one down. Meanwhile, Desmond and Ariel are looking around here. He's saying he doesn't believe in ghosts, obviously. She's by herself for some reason, is Haru. I think that's her name. I hope it says. But she finds a room and she goes in and she sees a couple of young ladies, obviously ghosts, in a minute. There you go, she finds this room. I think this is one of the what they call it, electric shock treatment rooms. There you go. And then she's looking now. She sees somebody. There she is, a young lady. Say, how did you get in here? And I'll be thinking, bloody hell. But if she looks like a real person, I suppose, then fair enough. You think, if she doesn't, it's not like a ghost, does she? Which is generally, ghosts don't generally look, in my experience, what I've seen, that you just usually out the corner of your eye, sort of, it was like somebody standing there. But anyway, but it turns out there's two of them. Look, anyway, so they all start having a bit of a threesome going on. They'll have to be quick here because they end up taking the clothes off. Hey, steady. Oh dear. If that is her name, don't let Teal'c find out. Haru. No, I can't remember. Anyway, so they all start, cuddling and all that jazz. Getting to know each other better. That's what they're doing. Have to be careful here. But obviously, it all goes wrong. That says that she has one of these flashback things. There we go, like that. So this is where we learn that these two young lady ghosts obviously having a relationship back in the day, and Vanacut found out, and electroshock that treated them to death. There you go. So obviously he didn't approve of such things. Homosexuality is a crime back in the day. Heruer from Star. Oh, yeah, Heruer. Yes, I know it. Yeah. Who killed his father? Is it him who killed his father? Anyway, so like I said, there you go. Electroshocked him to death. And then when we come back to reality, we see that they've turned into scary ghosts, and they basically get her. There you go. Hey, steady on. Yeah. Oh no, they don't get her. No, just remember what happens. She backs out, looking very Tia Carrera from Relic Hunter, by the way, which is on Amazon Prime with ads. I've added it to my watch list. I started watching it last night, and it's not the best thing, but is it? But whatever. Anyway, she backs up into Dr. Vanacut in a minute. There we go. She turns around, and there he's standing there. Is Jeffrey Combs, Dr. Vanacut, and he just pulls out a scalpel, and we just see him go, and then see her from behind, and then the camera moves round, and this happens. Just cut her skin off her face, and it just falls off, as it would. But and that's enough to kill her apparently, because she just falls down, and we don't see her again. So she's dead. She must have died from shock or something like that. I don't know, but we don't see her again. I don't think so anyway, not that I noticed. I think she'd fired her gun, so they heard some gunshots. So there you go. So they got to go and check that out. I think she goes into a room, and the door closes behind her. She can't get out, and then she sees a ghost, and he comes over to her, and we have another one of these flashback things. There you go. There we go. He grabs hold of her, and we see that he was the one that led the uprising back in 1931 when they all killed everybody and all that. So he's kind of a goody ghost, sort of. Wouldn't even slow Nick Cage or John Travolta down. No, it wouldn't. Face off. But then we learn that he was the leader of the resistance to Dr. Vanacut. Anyway, he's put her in a straitjacket for some reason. I don't know why, but he just has. But they're getting the finder. So they're sitting outside. They get a radio message, from Desmond asking them to go in. But anyway, I think they all go back up to the main room. I think. Yes, they do. There we go. But not yet. Yes, these are first. Kyle and I forgot his name. Boz? Is it Boz? Face off. Says Joshua. They arrive in the main hall first. And they see something funky going on with this sheet that's on one of the couches. There you go. It's all rippling and something bulges in it. Is it going to show it? Probably not. Probably not, because I probably missed it. There you go. Something bulges in it. Look. So they go to investigate, but there's nothing there. So it's like, ha ha ha. But then I think we see some ghosts skulking about. And then the sheets turn into, I'm sure this is CG. It doesn't look very realistic, does it? But the CG sheets wrap round his arms and his legs and basically pull him up like that. We know what's going to happen. There we go. They're getting him. And they help. So he goes to help, but there's Kyle, but the ghosts knock him back. The spirits, souls, whatever. But then he gets ripped apart. There's Boz, Norris, Boz, everybody's called. Just rip him apart. Hang on. Like that, yeah. And there's not much left of him. He'd think there'd be arms and legs and everything, but no. He's just mush now. He's just mush on the floor and walls and a bit on Kyle's chest. There he is. So, there we go. So he decides, he looks down, and so he has a good old scream. Ah, like that. So they all come running in. Where the hell's Norris? And, Richard had gone running over and not looking down, had just skidded and fallen on his ass in all the blood and guts. Like that. He says, where's Norris? I think you're standing in him. So, what happened? He says, and they says, it's true, isn't it? This house is haunted, etc. Oh, that's just mean. But then lockdown happens. Right, even though they've shot all this stuff, there you go. It all comes back to life again. And lockdown happens. All the shutters start coming down. But she gets out, look. She gets out in time. Yay. She's escaped. So she's like going, yay. And she runs down to the cars. But then we see Paul and whoever he is, they're in the house now because they've got a radio message from Desmond. Or he says they did. But Desmond said, I never sent that radio message. There you go. What are you doing here? I told you to stay in the car. So she thinks she can just escape now with Paul. She thinks they're in the car. And she goes down, sees they're not there. No! So she's got to go back in. But then the house calls to her. They hear the house going, Ariel, come to us, or whatever. And this opens up, and nobody notices inside. Aren't they all running out? They've not noticed. So she's got time. The door's opened again. The shutter's opened again by the front door. But she's got time to go in and grab a gun and go back in. There he's saying, you called us on the walkie-talkie and said, no, didn't want me. She just walks back in. None of them have noticed. They've not felt the drift of air coming or whatever. It's LA. Maybe it's humid. I don't know. Why aren't they all running back out? Obviously, well, I suppose because they want the Baphomet statue, I suppose, don't they? That's more important. So she's come back in to save Paul because, the house wanted me to return and I'm not leaving my friends behind, blah, blah, blah. Right, so, this chap, but he's the one that with Paul, wasn't he? He hears, ghostly voices, so he goes off to investigate for some reason. I would have called a priest, a cop, and an Indian chief before I went back in, yes. I need an old chief, an old priest and a young priest. The power of Christ compels you. Where were we? That henchman's wandered off, so obviously he's going to come a cropper, isn't he? Just looking at Serena Vincent for a minute, sorry. No, just best part of the film. But they're still after this this Baphomet statue. He still don't. I don't think Desmond still believes that there's ghosts involved. He just thinks somebody messing about with them. But anyway, but the henchman's still wandering about, look, following the ghostly voices, and then they see the nurse. I don't think it's the Ghostbusters nurse this time. So he's being got into by the sounds of it. Samuel is that one. The angel. Oh, demon. But there we go. Oh, yes, she's got him in a wheelchair. There we go. She's strapped. Don't know how that happened. Maybe it just happened really quickly. It didn't show us, but maybe did it with ghostly magic. Speaking of which, did we learn what the Pope had to say about aliens yet today? No, I didn't even know he'd said anything. News to me. Anyway, he's been wheeled away to his doom. Can't really remember what happens, to be honest. Do we know? I don't know. I don't know if we find out what's happened to him. Maybe I'll find out. Anyway, so that's the end of Samuel, I suppose. All the phones start ringing for some reason. Must have better phones in 2007 than 1999, because no signal's getting out. But this is from the house. They all answer the phones, and it's the house doing stuff. Does it tell us? Hang on. Do they answer the phones? Yes. That's it. Yes, they just hear Samuel screaming. That's it. Yes, that's it. Then we cut to Vandercut's going to chop him up, innit? Yes. You know what? I missed this bit. Maybe I stepped away or something like that. I must have done. I don't remember this bit. He's doing Hannibal Lecter, isn't he, from the film Hannibal. Where he's cut. Why does his brain fit his entire skull? There's no room for his skull, has he? They've just painted a brain on his bald head, haven't they? Yes, they're very Silent Hill. Well, if they had no faces, they'd be Silent Hill. Speaking of Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill is coming out soon, hopefully. It's been previewed at Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival. So anyway, there you go. So he's opened up his head. There we go. Taking his brain out. There we go. And the film in it. Because it's always good to get things on film. Right, so that's the end of Samuel. He might be fine. They might put his brain in a jar or whatever, and it might be fine with his eyes and stuff. It'd be like Kane off RoboCop 2. Right, so any way we can reverse the lockdown mechanism? Is that her saying that? Or is it somebody else? No, she's just listening. But obviously, no, not really. But then they're all pointing guns at one another, look. But he's still in it for the money. But even though they're all going to die. And there we go. They overpower him. So now the goodies are in charge. Right, so they're checking the map. Yes, looking forward to Return. I quite liked... I like the first one, and I didn't mind the second one either. It was fine. Right, come to these blueprints. I can't remember. What does it say? All right. Sounds connected to the water supply system. So that they're on about like sewer drains and stuff like that, which is going to come into play at the end. So they know where they're going to go, where they think the secret chamber is with the Baphomet statue. So they're going to go and check that out on the crematorium. So there we go. Find the crematorium. They find the idol. Throw me the idol. I throw you the whip, etc. But they just want to get out, But he's, Desmond's trying to talk him into saying, he wants the idol really. I say it's like Indiana Jones and Belloc, isn't it? Belloc, that's it, not Belloc. And Belloc, The idol is, we're just passing through history. The idol is history. Or whatever, the ark and all that. Anyway. Woohoo, Reservoir Dogs ending. I can't remember how that ended. I can't. I've seen it, but I've forgotten how it ended. Anyway, so off they go. But it says no. It says no. We're going to get out of here. So right. So they're heading down to the crematorium, which is their way out. They think through the sewers or whatever. They come across this room with a big vat of water. Obviously, there we go. Replace internal pain with external pain, and they'll cancel each other out. Oh, right. So how did that work? Freezing water. Oh, which was a thing, wasn't it? They did do that with freezing water, didn't they? Showed it in the Wolfman, didn't they? Where they dipped the young Guillermo del Toro. No, the other one. Whatever. Benicio del Toro, where they dipped the young Benicio del Toro into the freezing water, didn't they? Anyway, obviously somebody's going to end up in this water. And it's going to be Kyle who ends up in the water, and I can't remember why. I think, they have a little scuffle. They have a scuffle and a fight. Does Kyle and Desmond. So here we go. So they're having there we go. They're having a bit of a fight. And there we go. Kyle ends up in the water, and Paul runs to do nothing. I think he's going to get the map. But Ariel dives into the water to save Kyle. Michelle's got the map, look, with her weird fingers. But there we go, all shooting. But there we go. Ariel jumps in the water because she's a mermaid. There she goes. La, la, la. Looking very fine in the water, I must admit. So she goes to save Kyle. There he is swimming, sinking down. But then obviously ghosts are going to come out there. There we are. Bodies are popping up. Just like in Poltergeist. In the pool. But anyway, but they swim over, but they can't get out, and the zombie, whatever they are, zombie patients, they grab Kyle and drag him down. And Ariel can't save him. Kyle's there. He's going to get dragged down in a minute. Yes. They grab hold. We're going to get another flashback, I think. They were going to. They're grabbing her, but Kyle interceded, and now he gets dragged down. She can find a dingle hopper any day of the week. Yes, she can. Or a snarf blot, or whatever the bloody hell. Right. Where were we? Yeah, so he saves her. Kyle saves Ariel, and he gets dragged down by the ghosts. Obviously, she swims down to try and save him, but she can't. They lower a chain, and she grabs hold of that. And they pull her out just in time. All the ghosts come back up to try and grab her. But, that poor Kyle's gone now. But, I suppose he just drowned, I suppose. At least he wasn't ripped apart, was he, like the others? Right. Meanwhile, Desmond and Michelle are somewhere. They're in an area that's not got shutters. They've just got bars on the windows. Maybe on this set they couldn't afford these big shutters, I don't know. Maybe it's filmed on location and they couldn't afford to put shutters on the windows or something. But they've got bars, so they still can't get out. So he's trying to follow the map. So, what happens here? I can't remember. Oh, yes. He gets all paranoid because he thinks maybe Michelle's still in with Richard and, she wants the idol for herself. So he points a gun at her. Then what happens? So she runs off and he's shooting his gun. Pardon me. So they're separated now. Where are they? They're still looking for the crematorium, aren't they? So off they go. Then Michelle arrives in this room with all this furniture in and the big fridge. I don't know if it's the same fridge from the first film. There's a big fridge there. There's all this furniture. I could just look at her all day. And as she walks away, she turns round, thinks she goes to the door, and she turns round, all the furniture's gone. There you go. It's all gone. Where's it all gone? The kind of... I don't know when it came out. I'm going to have to check. Don't know which did it first. This did it first. This did it first. I'm going to say they did this in Paranormal Activity 3. Where all the furniture disappeared. But this did it first. So Paranormal Activity 3 ripped this off. The furniture's not there. She looks up, and there you go. It's all up there on the ceiling. I say Paranormal Activity did this in the kitchen, and then it all came crashing down at once. This comes crashing down at different speeds. So I just head to the edge of the room, because all the stuff's in the middle, it seems, doesn't it? So I just head for the edge, but no, she's middle of the room, like an idiot. So she's, there you go, all the furniture's dropping around her, all the chairs are smashing, and she falls over. There she goes, falls over. She can fall over on me. But then Dr. Vanneker appears, he's looking down at her, and he looks up at the fridge. You know what's going to happen, don't you? You know what's going to happen. She's going to do a Roger Rabbit. That's what she's going to do. There we go. It's reflected in her eyes. Down it comes. Splat. The fridge door should swing open, shouldn't it? She does the air. Then the director goes, cut, cut, cut. Michelle gets hit by fridge. Michelle sees stars. What's that, Michelle? A tweeding bird. That should do that, shouldn't they? Anyway, that's the end of Michelle, which I'm a bit miffed about. She was the best part of the film. Parts of the film. Anyway, Paul's here. He's arrived in this room now with the bars. Obviously, he can't get through them. They found the entrance to the sewer pipes, or whatever they want to call it, but they can't get the grating. It's too well fastened down, and they can't get it up. So, you know, what they're going to do. But then a ghost appears and grabs hold of her, and we get another flashback. What we're seeing, can't remember. She's getting a vision of where the statue is. There we go. So she knows where it is. So, and she knows what to do now, I think. She's got to get the statue and basically get it out of the house. Or they've got to destroy the statue or whatever. Anyway, she knows where it is now, so they're going to go and find the statue now. So this is the crematorium, so this must be all the furnaces in the crematorium. Because they said back in the day they used it as a tuberculosis hospital or whatever, and they just used to burn the bodies on the premises to stop the infection spreading. But as we learn later on in the film, I don't think we've got that much further to go. We learn that Vanneker just used to throw live people in, just to burn them alive. So that's another evil thing he did. But we learn that it was the statue that was behind it all. The idol. He was looking in one of the furnaces. The way through is through one of the furnaces. But anyway, so here we go. Down a scary tunnel. Only if this is a set or if it's on location. Don't know. On the first film, it were all sets. Enclosed sets. About 30 feet high, some of them. But most of them, like, all the sets had roofs on. So they said you felt like you're actually in a real place. Anyway. And then they go there. They find this door with all this gore and stuff on it, and don't bat an eyelid. I'd be throwing up, but don't care. Oh, we're here. Must be because of all these guts and whatever the hell this is. Don't bat an eyelid. Look, let's just open the door. Fine, unbelievable. So in they go. To this room that looks like, I don't know, the inside of a brain. Is that what it's supposed to look like? I don't know. It looks all organic, I suppose, doesn't it? And there's the Baphomet idol. on top. So if she had a bag of sand, she could swap it, couldn't she, for the Baphomet idol. Anyway, so she's going to try and destroy it, and but he gets in the way. Does Richard? She gets a gun out. She's going to shoot it to death. But before she can, Richard gets in the way. So get out of the way, Richard. Why does she just walk around him and shoot it? But said, you're in the way, Richard. But it's obviously affecting him, and because it affects people. You know, that's why it affected Vanica, and it's going to, it affects loads of people. So, right. So Paul grabs hold of him and he brings him round. So he said, it was calling me and all that stuff. So she shoots it. Bang, bang. And obviously it doesn't do anything because, this idol cannot be destroyed by any craft any of us here possess. So they've got to take it to the fires of Mount Doom to destroy it. Or throw it in the sewer pipe. That's what they've got to do. Not destroy it, just get rid of it. So she says, well, there you go. As long as the Baphomet idol is in the house, all the souls and stuff are trapped there, like that. So what if the idol wasn't in the house anymore? That's her idea. So they're going to chuck it in the sewer thing and it'll get washed. Because it floats, we learn. It'll get washed into the sea or whatever. So that's what she's saying. But her and Paul have to join forces to pull it off, so to speak. There you go. Right, so they're heading back to that sewer grate that they couldn't open up. But Desmond stops them. He wants it. Throw me the idol, I throw you the whip. But anyway, perfect. No one ever died in the sea. By the way, there's an end credit scene on this, another one which I'm going to have to be careful at, because the lady with the boobs out in it. But anyway, there you go. He wants the idol, but then he doesn't realise the what they call like ember corpses like being burned, so they're still like glowing like embers, crawling up behind him. Pardon me, in a minute. Oh, there you go. She's watching. There you go. One of them grabs. There you go. They grab hold of him. There you go. And then he gets a flashback thing to see the inmates just being thrown in the furnaces alive, burned alive. There we go. There you go. Showing that. And they get Desmond. There we go. They get Desmond. They drag him into one of the furnaces, and he burns to death in a CG fiery way. It's fine. So that's the end of Desmond. All right, but all the others are coming out now to get them. I thought they were helping the souls. They should be helping them, shouldn't they? Should all the ghosts, if they're trying to get rid of the thingy anyway. Floats like a witch, maybe so, a duck. Maybe it's made of wood, don't know. Anyway, more of these, I don't know what to call them, flaming corpses. I know it's not really flaming, though, are they? Smouldering corpses. Chasing them now, look. But they've got to get back to that sewer place. Here it is. So she's about to drop it in. But what's happened to Paul? Oh, yes, it gets separated. Paul have to go through that one of the furnaces to get out, and Paul closes it. He lets them through and then closes it. It says, "I'll catch up to you." He's going to draw them off, basically. It's going to be a diversion so they can get to the sewer entrance. So he's off doing his own adventure for a minute. But she's about to throw it in. She's making a big song and dance about it, lifting it up over her head. Just drop the bugger in. But no, because he's got to stop her. No, it's mine. No. Meanwhile, Paul's running for his life and all that jazz. So he's there fighting. I think some ghosts are going to appear. They're getting all wet. throwing each other about. There we go, some more ghosts are appearing. And they're all going to get him. And she says, remember who you are, because he's watching on his Vanicut. And he remembers who he is, I think, does Richard. There you go. He says, Ariel, I'm okay. I'm not under, I'm back to normal. But then he gets got by Vanicut, look, and he gets thrown about. And she's knocked unconscious, is Ariel, by the way. Meanwhile, Paul's arrived back at the brain room where the idol was. So he's kind of trapped there, I think, now, with the Silent Hill nurse and a few other ghosty people. Anyway, she comes to. Ariel, the idol, I throw you the whip. But Vanicut's busy bashing Richard's head in. Like that. On the tiles. But Ariel, I wonder why they picked Ariel. Anyway, Ariel gets the idol, chucks it in the sewer. Any minute now, just as they're all going to get got by the ghosts. Does she have a witty epithet? I don't think she just drops it in. If I'd have done that, it'd have hit one of them bars and bounced and gone somewhere else. But because I'm stupid. But anyway, down it goes. Look, lands in there, floating away with all the sewer water and a terrible CG. Look at that. Looks like something from Relic Hunter, doesn't it? Anyway, there it goes. It's left the idol has left the building, which means all the souls and spirits and stuff are free. So they're all going to disappear. Like that, look. In not very good CG, but better than I could do. So yeah, everybody's saved. But and all that, for some reason, he's here now. The ringleader is here now, and he's going to, all the souls are going to turn on Vanicut now. Why did they do that before? Don't know. But they're all going to get him. They hold him down. And as they hold him down, they all turn to stuff and disappear. I don't know why she's covered in blood for. I don't know. But I didn't see any blood spraying about. Or maybe there was some from the shower things, maybe there's some blood coming from that. I can't remember. But anyway, right. So that's the. Oh, Richard's dead, by the way. So she leaves him. There you go. Paul and her reunited, and everything's lovely. So come on, let's get out of here. So they leave, and all the souls are free. But then she says, "But what if the idol wanted us to remove it from the house? So it was trapped there, but now it's out in the world. So maybe that'd have been the sequel, or maybe a pilot for a TV series." But there you go. You're saying the house wanted us to succeed, but because of all the spirits in, but the idol wanted to be released, didn't it? The idol wanted to be released. Yeah, the house wanted them to succeed. Whatever, I don't know. But anyway, they drive off into the sunset. Remember, in the first film, they all had to walk up the hill, didn't they? But these have driven all the way up. Never mind. And then we get a bad CG thing of the house. Let's go home, says Ariel. And then we get the credits. So there we go. But then we get an end credit scene. I'm gonna have to be careful here now. While the idol was there, Vanicut controlled the spirits. Yeah, probably something like that, wasn't it? Because he was the one that was most affected by the idol, wasn't he? So I think that's it. Just pop to Earth 77427 and grab the sequel to this triple feature. Behave. Anyway, right. So giggling. There we go. Somebody's on a beach. I have to be careful here. So they're going to kiss and cuddle on the beach, and of course you got to take a top off. So I have to be careful here now. So there we go. And they're going to find the idol, aren't they? Ooh, can't. There we go. There you go. They've found the idol. Oh, steady. Oh, bloody hell. Then ghostly voices, and then I think it ends then. There we go. Yeah, that's it, the end. They've found the idol. It's a bit like Jumanji, isn't it? Like the end of Jumanji where it gets found on that beach. The Jumanji board. So there we go. So there we go. That's the end of Return. The Return to the House on Haunted the Hill. Whatever. Yes, that's it done. Right. So there we go. Both decent films in their own way. Make myself big. Does it play the Tiki Sting from the Brady Bunch Hawaii episode? I have no idea. You know about like drums, like Jumanji did. Anyway, so there we go. So that's it. So like I say, I like both them films in their own way. Like I said, the Return is obviously a cheap and nasty version, but there's some good gory bits in, and the fun. But I've got to admit, I do prefer the original 1959 version. I think it's got scarier things in it, to be honest, apart from the skeleton at the end. But the old lady in the original one terrified me as a kid. But I do like that one. I might do it on the Patreon. I might do the original House on Haunted Hill on Patreon. But there we go. So that's it. We're all done. We're all done and dusted. A double feature. Yay! Right, so we'll leave it there. So what's coming up next? I said, go find them. House on Haunted Hill 1999, Return to House on Haunted Hill 2007. Watch them both together. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Right, we'll leave it there. What's coming up? What day are we on? Friday. So Sunday will be me sketch time. This week we're doing, I forgot her name, Jenna Coleman from Doctor Who, which were another in his in Sci-Fi Quest's super chat. You want me to do Jenna Coleman? Then on Monday, for Magnificent Mondays this week, we're doing another DVD. The Amazing Captain Nemo. That's what we're doing. Rubbish, but amazing at the same time. So that's what we're doing. And I haven't decided anything else. On 25th of May, we're doing Star Wars. The original Star Wars, theatrical version, and that's all I've got set up so far, I think. So that's it, we're all done. So thanks, Joshua Kanapke, for sitting through this for, 3 hours and 42 minutes so far, and Win Grace as well. Josh Temple had the best idea and ducked out early. Don't blame him. But we also Scottish Geek guy popped in as well, didn't it? And I don't think we had anybody else, did we? Oh, Archmage Frey, that mysterious man from Twitch. He came in and said hello from whatever dimension he dwells. Right, we'll leave it there. So, hang on, let me change this. So just there we go. Put that back on now. So don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. I can hear my son huffing and puffing upstairs because my shows don't usually go on this long, do they? But he's obviously wanting attention. So we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.